Boom, boom, boom. All right. So, good evening or good morning, good afternoon, whenever this episode finds you. This is the Was It Good Though podcast about movies, TV shows, and slashers. I am one of your hosts. I am Jason.
I am Jazz.
And we are joined today with our brother in pod, Mr. Chapelle. How are you doing this evening, sir? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It feels like it's been forever. Every time I see y'all drop another episode, I'm like, I should have been there for that one. So I was very happy to come to this one at least.
Brother, we think about you often. We do think about you often. Y'all do. A lot of times when y'all record, I'm working and I can't make it, but I definitely would love to get back over there and join you guys with some of the talks y'all be doing, because I was just like, man, I'm just missing out, and I'm just seeing my sister enjoy. But as long as one of us appears, Was It Good Though is there. Did you have anything you would like to promote or put out for the people to find you, get to you, and let the people know what you got going on over at Recap Kickback or whatever you got going on, sir?
Yeah, I'm only promoting Recap Kickback at this point. RecapKickback.com is where you can find my podcast. YouTube.com/@RecapKickback. You can go on there and see all of our videos. We cover TV shows, movies, try to keep it black as hell if we can. And then a lot of times we talk about reality TV. We do a little Survivor coverage here and there, talk about some competition reality shows. And then my co-host, Chapelle, she's never seen The Flavor of Love before because she's Canadian, and so I've been taking her through the episodes of The Flavor of Love season 1 and 2, and now we're on I Love New York season 1, and I've been getting her reactions to some of these moments live on YouTube. So if you care about any of that kind of stuff, go hit that subscribe button and join our Recap Kickback community.
Yes, please help our brother Chapelle out.
Please.
Great channel, great moderator. He gonna get your ass in line if you ain't. But it's been 30 years in the making. If you don't know, if this is your first time here, this is the franchise that created this podcast. It was the first episode that we recorded. Episode 195. So we've been doing this every Tuesday since June of 2022.
Crazy.
Episode 195 is Scream 7. The latest from the Scream franchise. Of course, we have Miss Neve Campbell back. Kevin Williamson is directing. Before we get into this episode, of course, last week, 194, we did do Wonder Man. Quite a panel for that episode there.
Guys, take that damn mask off. This an audio podcast. You can't understand half the shit you gonna say.
Chapelle, I am committed.
I said, this ain't even my podcast. I'm like, Jazz, take that mask off. Hell.
Please like, share, subscribe. We also have our side quest review is out as well, where we talked about Cross. Also, that came out on yesterday. Last Friday, we discussed Paradise, the first 3 episodes on there. But just look out for, we're dropping a lot of content currently. Like I said, I want to get into a brief history before we get into the new
I was about to die.
I can see you breathing. Just a brief.
You can see you.
Yeah, that's
I was fogging up.
Get into the brief history before we get into number 7. Jazz, you want to take it away, or you want me to continue?
Nope.
Okay,
I just put my headphones in, so I didn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I missed the question.
All right, so Scream kicks off. A woman or a young girl has been murdered, which it comes out there have been 2 friends that have been plotting a murder for a year where they killed the lead, Sidney Prescott's mother. And of course, they were trying to, well, they were going to kill her, and they were going to set up her dad as the one who set this chain of events into place. Now, we have followed Sidney through high school, through college, as she began her career in 3, somewhat of a career in 3, and then in 4, she wrote a book, Out of Darkness, where we find out that revenge is a motive. We have brothers another person that was abandoned by his mother, which is her brother Ronan, who does make an appearance in this film. And we also find out that her cousin would like to have fame. She would like to have the spotlight that Sidney has. Now, after 4, they got to do a little bit of a shift. They shifted it to the Carpenter sisters. Sam and Tara were at the front or the forefront of 5 and 6. And unfortunately, in 6, Sidney did not make an appearance due to a real life money dispute, which ultimately ended up with Melissa being fired after 6 because she said free Palestine, which I'm on the same tip that Melissa is on. Free Palestine. Stop that bullshit over there. If that gets me, cut it out.
No, not you. They need to cut that.
Oh, okay, guys. I'm sorry. Oh shit. Like, let me
Like people is cutting it out. They cutting that out.
Yeah.
Nigger in though. They keeping the nigger in though. Sorry, Jason.
So Jazz, how did you feel about that dispute? Because I know you are one of the biggest Neve supporters, but also a Sidney supporter. So how did you feel about Sidney not coming back in 6?
I was annoyed with that because I was just like, how are you going to not pay the person who's been the face of this entire franchise? Mm-hmm. I thought that was really fucked up that they was trying to do that. But I know like a lot of people online was just like, okay, boycott Scream 6. Jazz is part of the cult, so couldn't really boycott anything. You know, I've been a member for like 30 years, so it's kind of hard for me to do that. But I definitely thought that was really fucked up that they was going to try to do that. And then when they signed her back on for 7, I was like, I know. Neve was just like, yesterday's price is not today's price, and you're gonna pay more today because you need me because y'all going to fire Melissa prematurely and not handling that in a very more effective way. Because I honestly feel like they jumped the gun with that entire situation with Melissa. And so they was just like, okay, well, shit, we got rid of Melissa, so now we definitely need to go back to Neve. Neve, what's your price?
Double.
And I'm pretty sure it was a lot more than what she was asking for 6. But you know, it is what it is. So
clearly, Paramount has the money. You see this bullshit they just pulled over at Warner with Netflix, where they paid them to get out of it, and then also paid to take it. So Paramount, they doing some shady shit over there. But with 7, of course, you got the Neve situation in 6. You got the Melissa situation in 7. Did you guys have any pushback or anybody protesting in front of y'all theater as y'all was trying to get in to see this movie? No
I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was that spicy of a topic. I was just, let's walk on in, walk right on past these people. What y'all doing out here? You're mad about the movie? Oh well, I'm gonna go see it. Who gonna see the movie? Well, I'm already here now. So no, I don't know that was protesting because of this, but I can see why. You know, you don't want to support brands that are doing hateful shit or like low down stuff. You don't want to support that kind of stuff, and we kind of backed ourselves into the corner now to where we live in a world where a lot of this media is run by the same people. You know, it's a monopoly of like what Paramount is doing with, you know, with Netflix and Warner Brothers, all this stuff. You can't turn nowhere else. There's nowhere else for you to go, and then it makes you make a decision as a part of the fandom whether or not you want to go spend your money on something like this. You got to pick and choose what you can do. You can't boycott everything because it's right. You know, we live in a structure that it benefits white supremacy, and we ain't white, so a lot of this stuff ain't gonna benefit us. So you got to pick and choose the ones that you're willing to part with. You might not be able to boycott this movie if you really wanted to see it, but you boycott what you can boycott. Everybody can't support all the causes at the same time. We don't have that much time, money, energy. We gotta have our own happiness too. So I don't judge nobody for going to see the movie.
Yeah, because I haven't been to Target in like 3 to 5 years, so they not getting my money. So I'm just like, oh well, since Target ain't getting my money, you know, Spyglass will get it for Scream,
and then I won't come back for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. Right. You know, like
man, I unfortunately I feel like this was a losing battle. This film is already projected to be one of the top pop producing films in the Scream franchise. So whether you put your money toward that money or not, I tried to bootleg it. I couldn't find the bootleg.
I tried to bootleg it too. Oh my god!
But I'm glad. Because Chapelle don't go to the movies, y'all.
You know I don't go to the movies.
Chapelle to go see this movie. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Hey man, you had to put me on blast. I messaged Jazz earlier, like she said, "You gonna come?" I said, I gotta go to the movie. I gotta get to a movie theater. Lord, I don't even know what to tell. I don't go to the movies, man. I would find a bootleg in a heartbeat.
I did too. I had a lot of work to do on my side to try to make it, but I did make it. And of course, this film, Jazz, in 7, it is centered around Sidney and Tatum. And no, not Tatum from Scream. In the original Scream, they got her head busted in the garage. We talking about Sidney's daughter, who, for some reason, wasn't talked about in Scream 4. Jazz, is this a plot hole?
So, Sidney mentioned the twins in Scream 4? Or no? She wasn't in Scream 4. Did she even have kids in Scream 4?
She should have.
Because of the age?
Because 2009 plus 17 will make 2026.
Oh. Well, she ain't talk about her family at all. She ain't talk about Mark either. So, and if Jason... All right, so I'm just going to let y'all know I'm about to be Captain Save a Sid tonight. It is what it is. So, nobody asked her about her family. She was talking about their book. The book was the main focus. Anybody ask about Mark, the twins, or the oldest kid. So if you ask me no questions about something, I'm not going to answer it. This ain't about my family. Don't need to be on this book tour.
I got questions. Now, look, I'm not in the cult, okay? I watched Scream for a very specific reason because it's because I miss Scooby-Doo. I miss the days of unmasking people and figuring out who the killer is. That's it. I tell my truth, damn it. So when I watch Scream, I'm not scared a little bit. I am picking up on clues. I'm like, goddamn, I've been there like taking notes. Like, I know, bitch, it's you, And so that's why I watch this. I don't care about none of this other stuff, the lore and all that other stuff. But I do know this. In Scream 3, she was dating that detective named Mark. Now, in this movie, this Mark is a cop too. Sidney got a type.
So she does have a type, and their name is Mark. But it's because
different.
So I think it's two different characters because you had Kincaid. But the thing is, the actor that originally played Mark Kincaid in Scream 3, he was not available to do Scream 7 due to conflict because of schedule. So
they just gave her a new Mark that was a cop.
Yes. Yep.
See, look, it might not be a plot hole, but that's some lazy writing. They said, okay, we're just gonna keep his name Mark the same. We're not gonna change the script at all. We're just not gonna mention it. Is Mark Kincaid this girl Tatum's daddy? I had so many questions.
No, it's Mark.
No, that was me. I was asking the same thing when I first watched it because that was one of the issues that I had. I'm like, who is this nigga? Like, where did he come from? Because I was like, was Kincaid not mentioned at all in Scream 5? And he wasn't. It was just Mark and the twins.
They can do anything at that point with Mark. And the twins.
Some nigga named Mark. Yeah. And then the child popped up too. So I was in the movie theater having questions, and people be talking to the theater, to the screen, and the Scream movies. They be, oh, don't go in there, all that kind of stuff. But I be asking different questions, like, so that's the same nigga. But nobody was trying to answer my questions.
Well, I was the other nigga because I was asking questions, and I was. So we're just gonna throw it out there. One trope I hate in horror movies: 1, stupid characters; 2, angsty fucking teenagers.
Yes,
isn't that Scream?
I like it. No, it wasn't.
It was bad. It
wasn't. It hasn't been that. And I can accept Sam's angsty teenager a lot more than I can accept the way Tatum was acting.
Oh, Tatum sucks. Tatum's the worst. Tatum
was killing me, man.
Tatum is the worst.
Jazz. I found myself saying, bitch, if you don't, I was like, wait, stop.
That's why I don't like kids in horror or teenagers. And I'm going to say, Sam wasn't even annoying. Jenna was annoying in Scream 6.
A little bit. In the beginning,
a lot. Like, as soon as Ghostface started popping. But see, that's because we got more of Tatum being a brat in this. You didn't get Jenna being a brat a lot in Scream 6.
Tatum didn't have one redeeming quality. What did she do well at all in this? What did she do? Is she likable? Is she funny? Is she smart? We didn't learn shit about her.
We didn't get personality, which I do think, and I guess fuck it. In this movie, worst cast. I'm going to admit this is the worst unit of characters that I've
we coming out
seen
swinging.
in a Scream movie. Because there was no personality, there was no care. They just got to killing them niggas, and I appreciate that.
No development, just start.
I appreciate it. They was like, nah, fuck that.
This movie was 2 hours, and they did start killing people like
an hour and 50, a tight hour 50. Okay,
oh, y'all get like not even the intro, and we got to get to the intro. But friends started dying soon as. What was it? Carl got his coffee. He said, I got my coffee from Sid's coffee shop and I'm about to go kill some kids.
Yeah, nah, he wasn't bullshitting. He was not. They were not bullshitting. No, as it on the flip side of this, these are some of the most aggressive Ghostface that I feel that we have seen.
They was whooping ass.
I will say a lot of stuff in 6. I feel as if they benefited from in this film a lot more. But the characters in 6 I liked a lot more. What I mean by that, in Scream 6 there were 3 Ghostface. Actually there was 4 Ghostface in Scream 6.
Because one of them got killed in the beginning.
So I love that plan to have a Ghostface in the beginning get unmasked and killed. So I was like, man, that was such a dope concept. I would love to see it again. So the first hour of this movie, we have a Ghostface that gets killed and unmasked. I'm like, holy shit, it's about time. 7 movies later, we see a nigga get killed in the middle of the movie and unmasked. It's like, okay, but this ain't the end of it. This continues to fight. You continue to follow this road. In Scream 6, they killed a lot of people that was cannon fodder. Now, lo and behold, these niggas in here they was just cannon fodder too because there was no personality. I didn't see the friend group. It wasn't like because typically, Jazz, we watch think about like Scream 4, and like we just well, me personally, Sidney is in the movie, but Sidney in the background compared to Jill and what her friend group is doing. But you follow them, you can say I like them, I don't like them. At least you can pull away from somebody with that. I don't like not a single one of these motherfuckers in this movie.
I think it was the opposite for this then.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say it's the opposite of where Sidney was secondary in 4 and the friend group was the main focus. I feel like Sidney was main focus in this and the friend group was secondary.
Absolutely.
Second, they know they won.
Tertiary.
So it's just like you got them maybe twice all together. Hell, probably just once for real. And that was when they were at the pizza spot. When they started dying.
Yeah.
So I mean, this movie was not about the friend group. We know that. Nobody cared about the friend group. The story didn't care about the friend group. We weren't supposed to care about the friend group. The friend group didn't care about the friend group. Like it wasn't about them. It was just about resetting and its focus is on Sidney. That's where all the energy was put into this. In my opinion, this movie was Sidney. So it's just like when you're looking for those rules that you got to follow to survive a horror, none of that shit mattered in this movie. It was how do you get the scream queen? But that's how I pretty much took it.
Yeah.
So, what y'all think about the introduction though? Like, let's get to Stu's house before it decided to burn down because there was a lot of Easter eggs and great references.
It didn't decide to burn down. That motherfucker burnt that bitch down.
Well, yeah, he did, or she did. Let's say he.
I can't even play that game.
I can't. Yeah, no.
This ain't even the one you could do that with. What you got, Chapelle?
Yeah, I think that's where I'm about to go too. Now, why did these people get murdered and this house got burned down? What is the motive for this particular murder? Because in the past, when we have a murder at the beginning, the phone ring, we know who made the call. I think it was the one where Jill and them. No, it's not the one. It's I think it's the last movie, right? 6. She gets the call and they're like, the killer got to know her, right? Because she don't even live in the town, so we know the killer is somebody close to her ex-husband. I'm like, okay, what killer would be involved with Stu's house and want to burn it down? Crazy bitch, just a random crazy hoe.
Somebody that just needed somebody else that they hadn't talked about Stu, so they wanted to bring Stu back into the fold to, I guess, show his character some love. So I appreciate that nod. One thing I do want to bring up is Easter egg for those who don't know. Scream fans do, but you casual listeners may not. On the set of Scream 2, when they were filming, Stu ass pulled up at the party that they were having at the frat party, and he was kicking it. Now he didn't make the cut in the movie, I don't believe, but he was on the set.
His clips with him in the background.
In the movie? In the actual movie? Okay, got you.
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, got you. So when they pull up to this house, you do hear them say, "No, it's been confirmed that Stu was at the frat party that Sid was at when Cece died." And I was like, "Oh shit, that was a dope little Easter egg they threw in there." But that was a real life. It's as soon as the movie start, they listen to their podcast. The podcast is announcing that in the film. So of course we get to the Stu Marker house. You got my girl from Landman. I don't know if y'all watched that show, but that's Ainsley from Landman. She's dope in that. So seeing her in something else, I can appreciate that. But are y'all staying inside of a killer's house? Like
this is
for the fandom? Jazz, are you staying inside?
Jazz in the cult. Are you gonna sleep in that home, Jazz?
I don't know if I'm gonna sleep in there, but I'm definitely going during the day.
I might visit in the daytime.
The way that he was nerding out, I would absolutely have nerded out the same way.
Yeah, you can still go to the Amityville house and stuff like that. Like,
no, that shit had ghosts. No. Stu house ain't had no ghosts. Bodies were collected. I'm not going to Amityville now. Spirits, no.
I wouldn't have done this. This is no way I'm staying the night here. You know, it's fun to go look at, but why would you want to sleep here? What part of you is thinking, oh yeah, I need to? Especially with her, she didn't even care. She's like, why do you let me come to this dumb shit? She's about it's corny, but at the same time, you scared of every single thing. Which one is it? Is it corny or are you terrified to be in here? Because I wouldn't have done it. You can't fake knives laying around, fake blood. Well, what part of the game is that?
Yeah, nah, for them to be. And that's the other thing. So I guess the meta commentary, that's something that I see people say is not there, but I would for everybody to be big fans of the Stab franchise within the films. I would like to see more people act as if they watched these goddamn movies. You know damn well if you go into a murder house where there have been two separate killings inside of this house, at some point you'd be like, you know what? If I go in here, you never know what may happen, what may start back up. Let me bring some type of protection. Let me watch my back. Let me not move around like I'm just in the middle of nowhere. Nigga, people have been killed here 2 times over the last 20, 30 years. Bro, no, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah.
They say lightning don't strike twice, but shit. You see, what's the guy said that shit last in number 6?
Mindy. Yeah, she's been stabbed multiple times, and so has her brother.
I mean, got slit up this time too. That's just I ain't getting stabbed today. Yes, you are.
And they still can't fight. They got to figure this shit out at some point.
Yeah,
I don't understand how they don't have weapons with them.
Or
like I would have. I don't understand how they don't have weapons when they're going into these situations.
They mixed, ain't they?
Yes, they are. They
just gonna leave that at that.
They should definitely know better.
He said this is the other side.
But who they people is? They mama black or they I need to know.
But I will say in this intro scene, I thought it was very funny. Like when her boyfriend was going around saying where everybody was murdered, and he mentioned Amber's, and the girlfriend said, "I would hate to go out that way, to be burned alive." And the fact that Ghostface burned her alive before he left out of that house
for no reason.
Well, I mean, he
could have killed her. He chose to burn her alive.
He killed her, just not in the way she thought she was.
That's what I'm saying. But he didn't have to burn her alive. You know what I'm saying? Like he actively was like, let me step over your body and set you on fire.
And he poured all the gasoline on her. I think he did all that because he heard her say, "I would hate to go out that way." So he was like, "Oh,
bingo,
I got you.
I got her death. I got her death."
Can you imagine Ghostface in the closet like, "Oh, I know how I'm gonna take her out."
Let's write that down. Yeah, burned alive. Oh, they got a gasoline in the backyard. I might go get that.
I thought that was funny. And then when Ghostface was cussing her out on the phone, she ignored everything and was like, "Did you just call me a bitch?" My theater laughed at that scene because I was like, "Right,
it's so
like,
real.
You didn't have to call her no bitch for real." Like, yeah, you said you're gonna fillet her and cut her insides out, but hold on now, you taking this foreplay too?
Who you calling bitch?
Right? Because she thought she was talking to her boyfriend the whole time.
She fucked him up too.
Because who else would have her phone number? This scene don't make sense to me, y'all. I'm sorry. Why is this scene in this? To me, this is fan service. This is for the cult people.
Yeah,
the people who just want to see the house. They want Stu, all that kind of stuff involved. But damn, could you make it make sense in the story?
No, Chapelle. It doesn't. You need the deaths. That's just ridiculous. And them having a cool ass walking out of the house. Because you're right. How would any of them have her number? Because there were no connection ties unless they know who rented out the house. That could be the only reason, but that's not information that we had. That's making assumptions. But that is a plot hole. Like if you want to look at that, was like how did Ghostface even get your number for real?
I was making my suspect list, and I kept going back to the house thing. I was like, who would know that girl was in that house, and why did they kill that lady? Just for fun, for the LOLs.
Yeah, because I mean,
why not?
Sid and them didn't really know anything that happened in Woodsboro till, of course, Gail rode up, which she had a fire entrance in this. But and I think that scene was the reason for Gail to end up where Sidney was. But that's just me making assumptions. Because she could have easily went to Woodsboro, but she had her Sidney thoughts on and said, "I'm gonna go find Sid."
Yeah, there was one of them red herrings where they were trying to make it as if she could finally be the killer again.
Gail ain't never gonna be the killer. They gotta let that go. Yeah, let it go.
She in her 60s. She can't be doing that. She gotta let. Yeah, no, it's a wrap.
They told her in the last movie, like, you would have made a good killer, but.
You get a little long in the tooth, you know.
But yeah, like I said, we get into we can't even really get into the friend group. What was your favorite death in this movie? Because shit, we can't. That's all you can really do with them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was the one that was rehearsing. That was in school. The first one in the friend group to get killed. Her death was amazing.
That was hanging up.
Yes. Oh my God, it was filmed perfectly. Like I was just like, oh, this is dark.
He pinata that girl.
She was
swinging. And he
took his time with it.
Olivia all over again.
Yeah, I bet y'all don't know that lady name.
The actress.
The character. They spent so little time. They might have said her name one time. They might have said
her name was Hannah.
Time. Now one time they said her name in that film. I said, God dang, this nameless girl getting chopped up. I guess we're supposed to care.
That's and that's something that typically in a slasher they allow you to care for the people that's getting killed. So you kind of have sometimes you have a little feeling for them, whether it's love or hate. It's just oh well type shit.
So
with these characters, within this film,
yeah.
Look at Chance pull up the cast list to speak toward their names.
I'm telling you, that girl, they said her name once, and that was it. They were just doing whatever they wanted to do after that. My favorite death is the most absurd death of them all. Why they have to put that boy on that beer spigot? The
fact that his mama was a Ghostface killer, and
they let that happen to her son.
She did not like him.
Get him again. Get him for me. He looked like his daddy.
And like I said, and you know what? Like I see, even within that, I just we'll get to the motivations, bro. I think who is my favorite? My favorite kill. I guess the black girl.
What even happened to her? She got slid across the table. He stabbed her up a little bit.
Chloe, the glass,
accidental,
the glass,
accidental ran her head through some glasses, and she just fell on one arm that busted.
Now that we talking about it, I don't know how I feel about this because there's a bunch of deaths that we don't really care about the people, and then the glasses. That one's kind of whack. Maybe the first death, maybe that girl getting burned alive, gotta be number one, right? Her, because even her fighting him and hanging from the chandelier, I was like, okay, you got it. All you gotta do is pull yourself up, and he had the nerve to flip over and stab her.
No situational awareness because she was hanging, right? And I understand you get scared. Nigga, I am coming down feet first on top of your body.
Yeah.
If I get stabbed, whatever it is, what it is. But at least I know if I step on top of you, it'll keep you down for just enough for me to try to make my way out the goddamn door. She just
you see that he roll over, and now you done hit the ground. Your leg is your bone is sticking out your leg, and then he's gonna stab you and slit your throat.
That roll over was so player.
Her fall on top of him face first into the knife is way worse than me breaking my leg trying to do it.
She was fighting though. Like she definitely made him work for it. It's just upper body strength, man.
Yeah.
She did what she needed to do in the gym a few weeks before. She good.
Yeah.
Jazz, how did you feel about Sidney's character in this film being shut off towards her daughter?
So I understand why she was shut off, because it's just you don't want her to be in fear, but then also you are putting her in a very vulnerable situation, which is what we saw through this. Your daughter doesn't have like all of those skills that you've learned with people trying to kill you over the past 30 years. You didn't give your daughter nothing at all. Like, she's seen the movie, she read the book. And so I just feel like you, like with Sidney trying to, oh, you know, you can go online and search it. Bitch, I want to go to the source. You are the source. Like, I want, like, her shutting her off is just like, you're going to get what?
The way Sidney was just shutting her down every time she asked her. She was like, she said, where you get that jacket from? Take it off. And she was like,
I think like with how Sidney is, like the way how she was so afraid to be like her mother. Like, you look at a lot of characteristics from when we met Sidney from the first movie to now. Mm-hmm. To me, it kind of makes sense for her to behave that way. So it's just,
to an extent, yes. But I mean, you would think that you would at least give her some background as to why you the way that you are. Because the only thing she knew is you don't like the boyfriend because it reminds you of Billy Loomis. But this nigga weird. Your boyfriend is a weird ass dude.
He weird.
Why is he nigga climbing on the roof? He in the house talking about killers and shit. I was just like, what they doing? Are they doing the Billy thing again? Like, it's just Scream 1, Scream 4, Scream 5. We can't do this again. We can't do the whole boyfriend, sneaking in the house like Billy and that whole story or another rendition of it. I'm like, bro, no. Please.
Yeah. I don't have a real issue with what Sidney was doing as far as not wanting to talk about her past. Because that's the thing. Her daughter, that's her mama, obviously. But she also was kind of idolizing her, the character. You know, when her boyfriend comes to the window, like, I thought you should come to the window just like Billy Loomis did. Are you stupid? That man tried to kill your mom. Are you dumb? You know, like that's what's like, hey, I felt like she needed to grab her and say, this is not a game. This is not a movie. People trying to kill me, ho. You know, I really felt like the conversation needs to happen. But so her daughter's like, I'm gonna go wear the jacket. I almost died in. Are you okay? You know, it'd be different if she was saying, Mama, teach me how to shoot a gun in case they come for us. Mama, can I take karate lessons? Nah, Mama, tell me about what happened when you lost your virginity to the dude who tried to murder you. What? Tell me about that story. How is that gonna help her prepare in life? I'm sick of Tatum. I'm sick.
I'm with you, Chapelle, but she's at least coming to her mama, asking her questions about things that her mama should have at least been honest or upfront with her about. Now, you're not just gonna come to her and be like, yeah, when I was 17, niggas tried to kill me, but when she came to her, like, why are you so like this about you? And she should at least at that time, hey, I have a lot of trust issues because my boyfriend was a killer. His best friend.
She saw the movie, Jason.
She saw the movie.
But again, it don't matter. It's the source. My boyfriend tried to kill me.
Go read the book.
His best friend, his mama tried to kill me. My brother tried to kill me. My cousin tried to kill me.
My niece,
this shit, it's deep.
But then also, like, even her homegirl said, I watched all the stab movies. I'm surprised your mom is not in a mental facility right now. Like,
and the girl was like, I don't care. I just want to hear about it again.
right.
No, like, wait. There was a moment where Sidney literally said, girl, do your research. She said, you see the movie? Leave me alone. That lady, she's fighting for her life. She said, girl, stop bringing this up. I can't sleep at night. God damn.
That's trying to make Sidney a black woman. It made Sidney a black mama. Hey, stay out of grown folk business. Get your ass out of grown folk
business. Sidney said, why are we talking about this when it's daylight? I'm going to bed, bitch. Like,
bed.
But then, Tatum was like getting some slick shit off when she was just like hypocrite. And then Sidney said her reaction had my first theater laughing. They was like, "Oh, go cuss that bitch out!" Like, get her, wow,
get her. Lady, I almost died. She said, Sidney should have said, bitch, I'll kill you. She should have told, like, I'll show you Ghostface. She ain't get that. You should be afraid of your mama if your mama is Sidney Prescott. You sitting in the house saying, I would be, hey, mama, you crazy. Mama nuts.
She collected bodies. Like, she has killed so many people into her defense. But still, I'm just like, nah, Tatum, you got to chill. And then when she kept... I don't know why you named me after somebody who's a victim who got killed.
Girl, that's my friend, bitch. Like, whoo, kill her, Sidney, get her, Sidney. Oh, hey man, F Tatum, bro. I hate her.
Jason looking at us like, nah, Tatum wasn't that bad, man.
Tatum was awful, bro. You gonna name me after your dead friend? Yes, ho. Did you watch the movie? That was my friend.
I mean, it was. I think it was bad people on both sides. It was bad people on both sides.
That girl said, I see what you think about me. Get the fuck out of my house. Go to your granny house with your goddamn twins.
Chapelle, Sidney over here getting her shit together to go find some people. Mom, take me with you. No, bitch, you stay in here.
You a hater. Get out the way.
You know what? But you know who really didn't do much? Why was Mark just sitting there in every single interaction?
To be fair,
he threw hands. He threw hands at the first Ghostface though.
He did. He fought.
No, I'm talking about when his daughter and wife was having bumping heads.
It was Sidney's turn. He said it. With the leather jacket, he was like, "Hey, don't do your thing. That's between you and her, bro. You gotta tell her about that jacket, dog. Because you gotta."
That wasn't a story for him to that. So there's experiences that you will have or that somebody will have that they can't. A secondhand person can't tell your experience or speak toward that moment. Now, if my son buck up to his mama, I'm gonna step in. Bitch, boy, sit your motherfucking ass down, nigga. I only work out for them to whoop their ass up until I can't no more. I don't care about none of that other stuff. I work out to make sure them niggas don't get big enough to whoop my ass. That's work out.
Nigga, you run. You don't work out.
That's enough. How
dare you? Yeah, that's cardio.
That's Jason, he gonna run after him if he run away. Like Jason make it seem like he's lifting weights and shit. Nah, I be
push up. I do push-ups. They gotta count for something.
Jason, you run, nigga.
I do about 50.
Cardio is good for whatever, you know.
In the day, I do 50 in the day. I do enough to whoop their ass though. That's all that matter. As long as they don't buck up, we good.
When you outrunning a Jaguar, you just got to beat the person in front of you.
I'm chip the nigga in front of you.
Yeah, I ain't got to be the strongest guy. I just got to be stronger than you two.
Okay. So of course, Ghostface is back. I think that was in Pinewood. I think there's a scene that I could be tripping, but Sidney at this coffee shop.
Pine Grove.
Bad.
Yeah,
that's where the Power Rangers from, ain't it? Not even somewhere like that.
Angel Grove.
Angel Grove. I knew it was a grove. I knew it was a grove. Look. So Lucas, he's weird in here. He's weird in Gen V.
Everywhere.
He's just gonna be weird. They didn't even give him really nothing too much. Like it was just like he just was obsessed with Sidney Prescott. But Sidney gets her first Ghostface call. But this Ghostface ain't bullshitting. He said, "Fuck that. I'm here, bitch. FaceTime." I was like, "Holy shit, these niggas is not bullshitting." He's like, "Hey, Sidney, it's been 30 years, bitch." I was like, "Damn, Stu."
Good to see you.
Stu dropped so many bitches on them. I was crazy. You supposed to be dead. How you calling everybody a bitch?
So y'all being in the fandom, I know obviously the people been clamoring, right? The podcast at the beginning of the movie was even talking about like, oh yeah, but I heard Stu is still alive. I know that's the thing that's been thrown around on the internet. Jazz, did you even for a split second think that Stu was actually alive, or did you automatically know this was AI deepfake technology?
So I immediately was just like, oh, this got to be AI deepfake, because I was just like, Stu is fucking dead. And this, because the rumor about him still being alive was even in Scream 6. And so, and it's just like, nah. But a piece of me, as the story was going on, I said,
could he be?
Nah. I was like, could he? And I was like, that would just, I would be so pissed off if they thought they was going to bring Stu back. That was going to piss me off.
That's how I figured out who the first who one of the Ghostface was, because I was like, man, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit ass story.
Yeah, immediately. So in the coffee shop, when they get into Sidney's coffee shop, this is where I'm making my suspect list, right? I'm like, okay, Lucas shows up, weirdo, he's on the list. I already wrote off the boyfriend a little bit because I just feel like that's too obvious. Sidney too on to him, so that's probably not gonna be him. So I'm like, the people in the coffee shop are like, okay, Lucas and his mama there, and then this random dude show up. They're like, Carl, and he's like, Carl. He's like, I was like, okay, I ain't got fuck Carl. Carl's not involved, because clearly we don't know this man. We never hear about him again. It's not Carl. So I'm making my assumptions right then. I know that little girl Tatum said she going to rehearsal. I'm like, Lucas said he in the play too or something. I said, okay. I'm watching Lucas. I watch his mama. And who the hell is Carl? I was really moving on. But when you get that reveal, yeah, and when they get that story about Stu still being alive, the moment I saw the actor they picked, I said, oh,
you know him?
That's Ethan Embry. He was in that movie Can't Hardly Wait, way back in the day.
Yes.
But he's such a name, a face. That's not an extra. You don't bring in Ethan Embry to be a rando. I said, well, damn, y'all done screwed the movie up.
That nigga was an extra to me because I didn't know who the fuck that white man was. So I was like, but I knew he was. But in my mind said, "That's a Ghostface right there." Because come on, be for real.
I immediately thought of him because when he was hesitant to show them the room, and then he immediately changed his mind to himself without anybody responding. Then I said, "Oh, that nigga's suspicious."
Mm-hmm. It was just the name was his face is too big. He's too big for such a small role. But I'm not a fan.
But I will say this. I will say this because you're not in a cult. That's a Scream thing though. They will. That's the subversion. That's been the subversive thing that Scream has always done. They'll put the big person in the movie, but they'll kill them like super early. Like either super early, they'll give them like a crazy
super early.
Typically those big names they knock them off.
He came in too late. He came in way too late to be a big name they was knocking off. I said, why did you even involve him? You could have left this man alone. This was 3 lines. They could have brought in a random person. You pay Ethan Embry all that money to do this? Hell no. So, yeah, I was making my list, but he popped up at the end. I had to throw him on there. I said, I don't know what you did, but you did that shit.
Yeah, I thought he was suspicious, but then I was just like, this is Sidney's first time meeting him, which had me bring him down on the list. Because normally it's a Ghostface that knows her.
It's so antithetical to what we know about Sidney. Everything we talk about, Jazz, is about her background, right? What happened?
Right. Yeah. So his motive, I have no idea. I've seen the movie 2 times. I still don't know, but I think he has like a
he crazy.
Jason crazy, but then also Jason, what's homeboy from Scream 4 that was with Jill?
Robbie?
Oh, the boyfriend.
No,
Robbie.
Not Robbie.
No.
It feels like Robbie.
It does feel like Robbie, but I know he's a Culkin. How about that? He's a Culkin.
Yeah. Culkin, yes. Because it was one of the ones to where they have a love interest that hates Sidney. So they go on board with the love interest to where they don't have an actual reason as to why they're committing these murders.
He the plus one.
Right. Him and Carl were the plus ones. Mm-hmm. And so the neighbor was the main crazy heifer that was like, we need to go kill her, because the other two, obviously we didn't get Charlie. Okay. Because obviously we didn't get Carl's reasoning, but I think Carl was like, oh, we killing some hoes? I'm down. He had already killed 3 women and he had already escaped a mental hospital, which is why I feel like these ghost faces, him and the dude from Can't Hardly Wait, they didn't really have nothing to lose. Mm-hmm. But it was so weird because they also didn't talk. this is the first movie where you didn't have a Ghostface speaking in the costume.
Yeah.
So I thought that was very interesting. I was just like, why? Because nobody's gonna know your voice outside of the neighbor. Like they could have been really getting some shit off, but I guess trying to still use that whole "this is Stu" type of thing. So I was just like, I don't know, but
it's Stu. No, it's not Stu.
Jason, did you have anybody who you thought early on could have been like a top suspect of being Ghostface?
That nigga mama and that nigga.
The pair of them.
Because then I saw, because look, Jan, I said, because as it started going, I said, it's the mama. It got to be the mama. I didn't know.
Because why she here?
Because it got to be the mama. Then as they started killing, everybody just started dying. I'm like, wait. I said, I'll be damned if they do another fake out death and bring a motherfucker back as Ghostface in the end. Because that's gonna piss me off even more than anything else that's happened. Because these niggas dying. These niggas are dying. Because like I said, Lucas running inside the kitchen and coming back bleeding. I was like,
so we seen this before. I thought
that was a Ronin
callback. Yeah,
I thought that was a Ronin type of situation.
I thought I'm like, okay, so he's fake. He doing a fake out situation. Got it. Okay, cool.
Hell nah. It started off like that, but the way they killed that boy, I said she hates him. She said, "Fuck him up." Okay.
I did like that though. Because when he went back in there, I was just like, why are you running back in danger? Because that's similar to what Sidney's boyfriend did in Scream 2. Turns out, of course, he wasn't a Ghostface, but you just like, why are you running in danger? And when he came back bleeding, I was like, that nigga ain't dead for real.
She stabbed him a little bit, but he all right. Yeah.
Right. He should have fake dead.
I'm looking at, shit, that nigga Ghostface with 4 people. Them that should have jumped him.
He was crazy though. He had that different type of strength.
Who should have jumped him?
Mindy, her brother, Lucas, and Chloe. They should have jumped his ass. They was like, they said, let's leave through the kitchen.
But Jason,
that girl was in the kitchen by herself.
Jason, the people that you just named. Now you know Mindy and Chad's history. You think them niggas about to do anything against that dude that just broke out of? Well, no, this was the other guy.
Exactly.
This is the Can't Hardly Wait guy. No, he was he was fucking him up too. So he got super strength. So like you said,
now
when you put the mask on,
when you put the mask on,
super strength.
He picked up that man from his head like a basketball.
Chapelle, fuck that. No, bro. No. I put this information out 4 years ago, and Jazz was not with it. Now she goes.
I listened to your podcast. I remember when I was doing my research on y'all before I knew I wanted to reach out and be like okay, let's talk. I had to go listen to the old stuff, and I was like, yeah, they be having super strength. Them people, you put that mask on, you bulletproof. You can take. Hey, I don't care how many times them bulletproof vests don't be that good. You be getting lit up and like get right up. That lady. Later on, Miss Next Door Neighbor, they fucked her up. They looked. Did you shoot her in the head? It wasn't 2 seconds. She was gone. I said, that bitch Batman. Like I said, nope.
Nigga,
they didn't even hear it move.
Nigga, Ghostface was so aggressive. The nigga had been sleeping in their attic. Nigga jumped. That nigga fell out the roof like Batman. Nigga said, "What's
like Jason?"
y'all. That scene when the cops is checking every door and window. And the camera pans to the fucking attic. Everybody in my theater said, "Oh no!" Everybody.
The cops are also incompetent, bruh. The cops are never competent around these parties. How you check every room except that one?
But hold on, and a cop lived there. The damn cop who lived there didn't even check that one.
But hold on. To be fair. When you doing an in and out, I'm not gonna lie. I can see how you can forget the attic.
Oh yeah, because it was 5 minutes.
How you
they said
forget
5 minutes. Let's get in and out.
Yeah, in and out. The attic. Shit. If somebody asked me to check every room in here, my nigga, I'm going to forget my attic every single time. I'm sorry, but I am because I'm be like, how did you even get up there? Because nothing is down here to show that you went up there. You need a ladder to get into an attic, depending on what kind of attic you have.
Yeah.
But
and he closed the door behind him too. Sir, how did that? How did you do that?
Yeah, they was.
Yeah.
And then you got Ghostface in here fist fighting with people.
I mean, Mark was getting with him, but he kicked Mark ass.
that was one of the best Ghostface fights inside the house though. They was getting it in, and I was like, they should. And even then, they should. He was crazy. That nigga was crazy. But they should have jumped his ass too. Like,
yeah. He was handling Sidney and Mark. He really was.
He was fucking them up, man. Jason, these are super soldier ghost faces, man. They was going crazy.
Them niggas in the house. They in the house, and then lights start going off. It's just like, man, who turned like, bro? You know damn well who turning lights off for y'all trying to get lights on in pack bags. That nigga's inside the house. The call is coming from in the house. Tatum ugly ass over here in the room. Oh, mama, he got me.
The cops ain't been left the house but 3 minutes ago.
They
just went inside. The cops down the street.
It's been a minute.
Oh, since we on these rants, I need to know. Well, when Sidney gets this call, she gets this Stumacher call. I'm outside the school, bitch. Okay, bet. She calls Mark. Mark, call. Hey, we about to go. Pull up. We on the way. Why did she not call Tatum? At no point does Sidney call her daughter throughout this so fucking film until the last time when her daughter is hiding and needs quiet, not a phone ring. Why you didn't say, girl, the man is outside the theater. Tell your friends to get the fuck out. Call your goddamn child, Sidney.
No, Sidney had a lapse in fuck that. Let's talk about Sidney doing this interview and running the block to try to save her daughter.
She didn't have the keys.
She was so mad at Gail that she couldn't say Gail
did not have the keys.
Okay, Gail, I was tripping. Can you drive me to go see my daughter? Like, what the hell are you
didn't have the keys, man.
Jazz, the time she took to run down that street. The time she took to run back up there and got she could have went back and got the keys to drive.
Where do they live? She lost signal in the middle of a street. She outside. She not in tunnel.
But hold on. Chapelle, so in that scene, the thing is, like, she has her security camera video up and she's on the phone. So it was using a lot of data. A lot of data was being used. So sometimes
why she stopped running?
Jazz has a book of pleas.
Why did she
for
stop
Sidney, and she's not going to run out.
But see,
Jazz is not going to run out of pleas.
Chapelle, the reason why she stopped because she was tired. Because she had just ran 2 fucking miles. And because Sidney looked in front of her, Chapelle, she said, I ain't gonna make that shit.
Go make it. She told her, girl, I'm just gonna walk you through this over the phone. You could still be making your way to the building. Could you walk?
Chapelle, she's 30 minutes away.
Sidney should have got one of them little scooters, you know, the ones that they be having downtown. You get the app.
This is small town. Ain't got that kind of funding, Chapelle.
Go back and get Gail. Why did you dip off on Gail? Gail asked you a question, hurt your feelings, and now all of a sudden she can't help you fight crime no more. Y'all broke up that quick.
She really ran down the street, bro.
On foot.
Listen,
to save her life.
Save her daughter's life.
How did that go? She could have made that call. She could have made that call from the building with the Wi-Fi.
Look at Jazz trying to cop a plea for this.
No, I'm just saying it's okay if Grace want to go ahead and let all the vampires in so she could avoid the vampires from eating her daughter. But it's an issue with Sidney.
Grace was ready to die for her child. Sidney is letting her child die.
No, Sidney would have tried to be ready to help her daughter.
The keys.
But nobody there.
Get the keys.
She had a key. And she didn't know
Gail. Why she couldn't get Gail?
Another stupid scene. Her boyfriend in the car playing at Stu.
Now,
talking
goddamn,
shit.
hold on. Now, what is the point? Why did he do this? Nobody explained to me what he's like. It's not what it looks like. Okay, what does it look like? I was just seeing if you could do it. Okay, now that you know that you could, now what? I don't know, man.
Why you didn't tell me?
He should have said, "Hey babe, I'm
not
running AI footage to see if look." And then why did he have to do? Why was he so in character? Like, I'm gonna gut you like a fish, bitch. Like, you could have just said, "Hey, this is me, Drew as Stu." Okay,
he was thinking about all those times where Sidney kicked him out of the house. So he was like, "Let me try to get his energy." He was.
He needed his ass whooped for that. You did that in the car, in the front seat of the car? Did you do this on the way to the bar?
And he did it before they got to the bar.
And I hated
while they was driving.
I hated that relationship so much. Like, every time, oh my God, I love you. I love you so much. I know what
Jason.
Hey man, that nigga gave her a hug and got fucking slit the fuck up soon as he let her go.
Now, okay. I'm with you on that because I'm sitting here like, Tatum, focus.
Focus.
James,
Focus.
come on now.
Sid had to tell her. She was like, oh, they killed Danny. Sid said, all right, so you need to focus on you. You need to focus on you and your mental health, sis. He was toxic anyway.
Mind yours.
You have to take care of you. I get that. Oh, his name wasn't Danny. His name was Ben. She was like, they killed Ben. Sid was like, Ben. All right, so get the gun. So
anyway, yeah, so it's a gun in the office. You know? I just don't understand why she never called that girl. There was at least twice where her and her daughter are not in the same place and Ghostface is on the way. At the bar. Even at the bar. She said, wait, what do you mean? Gail? Wait, she's at the bar. Oh, tell me she's at the restaurant. Oh my God. Wait, okay, cool. Let me just take off running. No, fool. Hey, babes. Just FYI, you're in danger, sis. Get out of there. LOL, mom. You know, call her on the phone.
Mindy and her brother really put them niggas in jeopardy, bro. They just had them in the middle of nowhere where niggas would just come in and just have free reign on 5 bodies.
I started suspecting Tatum at that point. I was like, Tatum, you dumb. Like,
you suspected her to be the killer?
I sure did. I told you I was making my list. Because I kept trying to figure out, well, why does she have no redeeming qualities? We don't know nothing about her. She's not likable. She's not the main girl. She's not the final chick because we know Sidney is. Every scene is about Sidney. We don't have one scene of Tatum by herself. It's all Tatum and a homegirl, Tatum and a boyfriend,
when Tatum was down in the basement, when Ghostface,
she was with homeboy. He had just got off her. That's what I'm saying. But it just happened for like 2 seconds, and then the black girl was like, "I was down there too," you know. So I said,
I thought that was gonna lead somewhere, but it didn't.
That's why I said, Tatum. Girl, is this you? I said, it would be crazy if Sidney's cousin and her daughter are trying to kill her. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna give Tatum a pass right now. But the stuff she was doing just didn't feel like, hey, I'm trying to help in any way. You know, it just felt like I'm just in the way. She can go. We could have lost Tatum in this. I wouldn't be mad. But I think my theory is that this is setting up for Tatum to now take place kind of being the main person a little bit more. Because they got to replace the girl from the Free Palestine. You know, they got to replace her. Sidney old, so it's only so much you gonna get out of Sidney. You know, and she want a lot of money. She wants a lot of money. So they like, all right, let me start to work in this new girl so we can keep the franchise going. So now we kind of kill off her old friends. We built her lore. Right now she has a backstory too. My friends was killed. We were part of a massacre at Pine Grove, and now Sidney's training her up. I think they're really trying to like Batman Beyond her. You know what I'm saying? So
that's funny.
She's Terry. Yeah, she's Terry now. You know, I think that's how I read it, because otherwise, why are we spending so much time with a child we didn't even know existed?
And I guess within this, even if it was to continue, like she got no friends. Like nobody survived. All her friends are gone.
She still has the newscaster, the black kids, right? And so they can be her Gail. They could be her Gail, and then you could bring in. Where's Kobe?
Who is Kobe?
Who?
The blonde chick, Hayden Panettiere. She was in the.
So you talking about Kirby?
Kirby. You know, I'm from the South. What's her name? What's the girl name?
I was like, who was Kobe?
What's Kobe?
Kirby. So I was curious if Kirby was going to be in this, but I wasn't exactly sure how they would even incorporate her in this, honestly.
So I think she gonna be the new Gail for this girl instead. They got to get that other girl out of the picture, and now this is our new girl so we can keep this going to Scream 16, 17. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't know how they can do anything. Well, I'm sure Kevin can come up with something for Scream 8, but I want it to be spicy. And you left the twins alive in this. I want them to end up being the killers.
Let him write. They can't be the killer. I don't think
they can't be the killer. You
didn't like him as a director?
I like the director, but I think the writing needs to be fixed. That's just my.
Oh, you're saying let somebody else write it?
I don't let him write it. He didn't write this.
He did write it. He wrote and directed this.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Look
at it. He must have been a co-writer, but he didn't. I feel like somebody else wrote.
Screenplay for this is him and Guy Buskey. Yeah, they did this. Yeah, this is the first time he was ever directed. Yeah, that's why a lot of the things were from.
It's a little hood. It's a little ghetto. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not gonna say.
Okay, yeah. No. See, that's what I thought. No. it's his screenplay, so he's going to get credited. But no, James Vanderbilt wrote this. It was he didn't write this.
Well, how? Well, he didn't write the screenplay. How is he? So, what do you mean he's the screenplay? He didn't write it.
The original movie is he wrote the original movie.
So this is still based off of the original screenplay. Is what you're saying? Yeah.
So all three of them are listed as writers for this movie.
So when you look at it, it's going to be story by, not created. So story by Gary Busey and James Vanderbilt. That's who wrote this.
Well, James Vanderbilt, he's ass whooped. Because I like the movie, but I'm not gonna lie and say that it made sense in a lot of ways. I got a lot of question marks.
It was a nice amount of plot holes. I'm not gonna lie. It was a nice amount of plot holes, and in my first time watching, I was on the fence of like what was going on, but then I did my rewatch, and I was like, okay, it made a lot more sense, because on the first watch, the motive made no sense to me, because I'm like, how did we get here? And then on the rewatch, I was just like, okay,
yeah, no, fire them niggas. Okay, no, I see the problem now.
What
Get
happened?
rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them.
everybody.
They wrote Jazz. They wrote 5, 6, and 7. Get them out of here. No more.
Who?
Oh, they
not Kevin.
I'm look it up. The same niggas. I'm telling you, Kevin's name is always going to pop up, because these are his characters. It's his IP. His name is going to show up no matter what.
But we had to fire Kevin.
I'm talking about James Vanderbilt and Gary Busey. Get them niggas out of here. We need some new writers on this. We need better writers. They need to. Okay, let me ask y'all this: how did y'all feel about the mystery of this? You said you came in as Chapelle.
That's why I watched it.
Shit. What did you think about what was the mystery of you 1 to 10?
That's my biggest issue, is that in most Scream movies, that's why I know the twins will never be the killers. But in most Scream movies, it's like a normal mystery, right? You always have your red herring. Sometimes you can have multiple red herrings. You always have the main character. You got the love interest or whatever. You got Gail, because Gail is the superhero. She's never gonna go nowhere. She's never gonna die. She's never gonna be the bad guy. They try to make it look like Kirby is the other version of Gail. She show up. She's wearing a cape. You can't make Kirby the bad guy. It don't work like that. And so I'm following my thought process here. I'm making my list, but there were so many things that weren't cohesive, and there were so many things that were put in there that was just kind of throw you off. So for instance, the whole first scene doesn't matter. It does not matter to the plot of the movie at all. The house got burned down. So the fuck what? And then Gail being like, I just told Sidney, someone told me to go find Sidney. Okay, cool. You just magic that up. Okay, fine. So then I started looking at the suspects. Like I said, they introduced the main suspects. The mom is there. She keeps popping up. Boom. I'm kind of looking at her and Lucas the whole time. The random killer was another red herring or whatever. Fine. I thought for a second the professor, the theater teacher might have some, because why are we showing him? What is he doing here? I was trying to build a motive for him. I said, maybe he's trying to push this girl to be the actress, because Sidney mama was an actress, and he trying to bring that grit out. I was really trying to put it together.
Sidney was too.
Sidney hadn't even told Tatum that she was an actor before.
Right.
Well, to be fair, Sidney found that out late in the game anyway. That her mother was an actress.
No, she said Sidney was an actress too, though. Sidney was an
actress,
but her daughter didn't know that.
Tatum didn't know she was an actress. She didn't know that. She didn't know she did plays and stuff in movies. Oh no, we ain't talking about the movie.
We ain't talking about Marie.
And I don't like how they keep on treating my bitch Jill like a redheaded stepchild. That was one of the best motives that Scream has ever given us, besides the original. And they keep on treating her like she just was nobody.
And Jill was a better mystery too. I think that because the Jill, like all evidence was right there in front of you the whole time. It's the fact that she's not the main character. Sidney is the main character of that movie too. Even though Jill is the one we talk about the most, but Jill, so anyway, all that to say,
stop. Anyway,
conjure some shit up. So.
Go ahead, Chapelle.
Yeah, so back to my mystery. So I was really trying to follow the through line, the clues, and I'm sure somebody will make a whole YouTube video about how it all makes sense. But to me, there were definitely big old spots where I'm like, that doesn't make sense. The random Ethan Embry appearance in the middle and at the end to be like, hey, did you ever think about him just being crazy? It's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I guess so. I guess this random guy can be crazy. The AI is cool. But I think as far as like, if you wanted to figure this out, if Sidney was going to look at the suspects and figure this out, if the twins were going to look at the twins, are they siblings or siblings? The siblings. They were going. Yeah, the siblings were going to look at the clues. They black together. And so I was like, all right, if them two black folks was gonna figure this out, they were really going through their rules and trying to figure out the suspects. But there's an outlier that they don't know about. They don't know that they should be solving for X because it doesn't exist. Nobody knows about the crazy man, and it's not an option. The mama was always an option, so I like that part. But I just thought the extra killer was a little whatever.
So the thing is, when Mindy was having that monologue, she was saying these killers are not a fan of the stab movies. These killers are a fan of Sidney. Yeah. And that's where I thought, like, I did appreciate how when you did the whole reveal, when Sis was giving her monologue of, oh, your book After Darkness, because we remember that from Scream 4, to where it's just like, she wasn't focused on the movies prior to that. This is not anybody that's a fan of those films following those rules. She's like, look, Sidney, you helped me learn how to kill my husband. Yeah. And then you just went missing in New York, because what is a Ghostface event without Sidney Prescott? So it's just like, to where you like, damn, Sidney can't even get off this fucking stab boat and mind her business and get through this, because then you create cycles that way, to where it's kind of like you screwed whether if you in or whether if you not. So I was going to ask y'all, do y'all feel like the legacy characters have a responsibility to the franchise? Because even Chad said the reason why they are there is because they are legacy characters, to where anytime an event happens, they feel like they have an obligation.
What was your question?
Yeah.
Do you feel like legacy characters have a responsibility to the franchise if a killing pops up, to where they have to just, all right, we got to drop everything and go try to save these niggas?
If they don't add anything to the story, kind of like Chapelle said, a lot of this stuff just feels like fan service. It just felt like fan service. I think the best part of the movie for me, essentially, was we finally got the Gail and Sidney sit down that that's been kind of being alluded to for 30 years. We finally got them to sit down and do the interview, and even then Sidney bitched up within the interview, and she cut that shit off. Like, Gail was pushing, like, actually she's doing it. She's trying to do the crime. I think the last we said, TV not selling, crime podcasts are. So she's going the investigative journalist that route with it. So I felt as if that was something that could have. I feel like they should explore that a little bit more. That little that dynamic, but beyond that, and I don't think the legacy. Because I mean, in my Scream story, Sidney dead and Jill is on the run. In my story.
Chapelle. All right, so
that's you
asked for Jason's story. So Chapelle, what do you think? I guess if you were a legacy character and you just like, oh shit, it was another Ghostface attack, would you feel like you have an obligation to go help out those possibly new victims?
Yeah, this is Scooby-Doo. You got to get the gang together. That's the whole point of the whodunits. You know, it's we got to assemble the squad. And we keep surviving these things. We keep unmasking these things, but we're building our lore as we're doing it. We're building, we're bringing in new characters. And as we bring in new characters, we can sub people out. It's why we can bring in these two black people, and then like, okay, we can bring in Colby, whatever her name is. We can bring her in, because we need to be able to sub these people out when necessary. You can't let them all, look, if we're going to keep this franchise going, people are going to start to do other things eventually. And so you really do need to keep these people in the rotation so you can bring them in. You can kill people sometimes, we saw, do we not, whatever. But here you gotta, once you kill somebody like that off, you have to establish a new person to kind of fit that role, and we haven't done that yet. So that's why I really think this is a reset. I think they come in, they kind of wipe the slate clean. They say, okay, Sidney, she got a daughter, she got a protege, she gonna teach her up. Her and Gail are on the same page, so they got the squad back together. The OGs are back. So now you can start to build like almost like the Teen Titans of this crew, right? You're bringing in the New Bloods, the Young Avengers or whatever, and they can start to have these same type of fights. But her daughter needed an origin story. She needed to have something to make her relevant to all of this, because we didn't even know this girl existed. So now that we have what potentially a new person to put at the forefront of this, we can start to build a story around her, because there's only so much you're gonna do with Sidney. Now what we're gonna find out next? Her mama's best friend in elementary school hated her too. Everybody hate that lady. Okay, like we gotta do something.
Maureen definitely set her up for failure.
Maureen is awful.
She definitely is. But Jason, I have a question for you. With all of the things of like us having these legacy characters, and then pretty much Scream has been building on previous films over the years. Do you think that's one of the reasons why this franchise has been so successful and have such longevity?
Say it again.
With Scream being a horror franchise that pretty much has built upon itself and its characters and bringing back legacy characters, do you think that's one of the reasons why it's been so successful? Because like we know this franchise has been 30 years old, but when you look at franchises like, let's say, Halloween, they've had multiple resets and they've had multiple spinoffs and then somebody breaking out doing their own thing, but Scream has not had that. I would say what the Scream franchise has been able to give for horror is something that I would say it's the first of its kind. You making a face, so what?
So I do believe that the legacy characters do add to the value of the franchise. Scream being the franchise that reinvigorated slashers is another reason. Scream being able to, one, create a slasher that subverts expectations, but also is able to make fun of itself, but also horror as a whole, is another reason that you're able to continue. And that is kind of like what my thing with we talk about. We had the trilogy, and then oftentimes, man, you have a conversation is, do we need another one? Like, is there room for another film? I'm not going to even go the route you think I'm going to go. But so then we introduced Scream 4. Scream 4 came 11 years after the last film, which is in Scream 3. And it does because it's one of them films where Scream talks about the social commentary in Scream is always a relevant thing. And at that point, it was when people began to go viral and social media was a big uproar and people are, I want to be famous. And we can just see how everything was, it was sort of ahead of its time at that point, because who was to know Vine was going to become a thing. TikTok is now a thing. You got the Instagram, the people that are famous just from social media, the content over everything, the content creators and things of that nature. But then you had Scream 5, which is talking about toxic fandom. And like I said, it always is able to comment on what's going on. Now, this film here, people are saying at some later down the road it's going to resonate, and I guess I'm gonna kick it back to you, and I'm going to say, is there a place or is there a word where you understand the motivation of, I don't even know that woman's name.
It was the neighbor, her Jessica. Nope.
Yeah.
Was it Jessica? I think it was.
I believe
Jessica.
so. Yeah.
It don't even matter. We know
the girl from The Help.
Was she from The Help? The True Blood. Are you talking about the neighbor?
I thought she was in The Help. No, I don't think she was the one.
Anna Camp.
Anna Camp. Yeah, I thought she was in The Help.
No, she was in True
white
Blood.
lady?
Yes. You got your white ladies mixed up.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
They all look the same.
They do.
But I'm sorry, Jason. What was your question? I don't know. We were trying to figure out.
Okay, so
she was in The Help. Yes.
So Jazz, my question for you was, does her motivation that she gave, do you think it's going to eventually resonate? Because some of them, at some point, you're like, okay, I kind of understand where they was coming from with what they were doing. Because I say this is the weakest Act 3 that we've ever received in that aspect, but the action of Act 3 I think was actually pretty dope.
So, is this a safe space? Hopefully. All right.
Do you think?
I will say I understood her motivation when I saw it on my rewatch. So it's not going to take years for me to understand the motivation. I say I understand it now because because I remember all the conversations, Jason, that we've had to where you said Sidney can go ahead and die. They don't need her in the franchise. We can get somebody else. And my reactions to you is get the hell on. Right. Sidney needs to be here the entire time. Sidney is the Scream franchise. Yeah. Sidney is the final girl that we need. Do not kill her off. I do not care about no storyline where Sidney is not there. That is just me. So when she was saying, Sidney, I read your book and I was so influenced and you need to be here, but you were missing in New York, I was like, yeah, she was missing in New York. So a piece of me could relate to her toxic fandom in that moment. Now, I'm not as crazy as her, but I was just like, because the thing is with Scream 6, I did enjoy it. I did miss Sidney, but I still was able to enjoy the film. But going into Scream 6, I was like, I'm probably not going to like this shit because Neve's not in this. I've never seen a Scream movie where Neve's not in this. Yeah, she wasn't in Scream 5 that much, but she was still there. But I was just like, y'all not about to just take her franchise from her for real.
I think you make a good point though. I think it's an intentional choice, Jason. I think this is exactly what it was, right? The franchise, the fandom started getting so big, so they made a movie about the fandom, right? And then they pissed the fandom off because Neve's not there, so they made a movie about people being pissed off when Neve is not there. They're doing that on purpose. You know, they're telling the story about the fandom and their reaction. This whole movie was fan service. We already talked about this. Stu being involved, Neve coming back and them being like, remember when you was gone? We hated that. We'll kill you, bitch. Don't ever do that again. This is exactly what Jazz just said. It's not something that's gonna come down the line. They are making this because of people like Jazz in the message board saying, where the fuck is it? Am I lying?
But at some point, go ahead, correct it.
Neve. Her name is Neve.
Y'all
killing me. And I feel like Chapelle's doing that shit on purpose. Like, I know you're doing it on purpose. I'm just sitting here like.
So for me, and so Jazz, you don't think at any point we should move on from Sidney's character?
Jason, what did I just say?
Did you not watch the movie?
I did.
People will kill you, boy.
I guess for me, I look at this and I'm just like, man, what is it really realistic for somebody to be able to escape Ghostface for 30, for somebody trying to kill you for 30 years? That just seems unrealistic. And I don't go to these movies. At some point, I do want it to be kind of grounded to a point of, okay, I can see that actually happening. But for somebody to escape every time, goddamn, she Fast and the Furious.
I'm not gonna lie. She's who?
She's Fast and the Furious at this point.
That's from one of your favorite franchises.
There's a difference between an action movie and a horror movie that's supposed to have stakes.
Oh, the plot armor? Is that what it is?
It's the stakes in the movie. At some point, that person has to die for the torch to be passed for it to keep on moving. And all they keep on doing is pissing in my face to pass the torch. We ain't passing nothing. You can't beat the original. I'm past my time, bitch.
How is it Scream pisses you off about that, but Fast and the Furious doesn't? The fact that they keep bringing people back to life.
Because that doesn't. I'm not happy about that, and I say the same exact thing about that too. My favorite person died in real life, and that nigga's still in the franchise some kind of way.
Yes.
But no, I'm saying in these franchises, I think you should be able to move beyond it. Just like with Alien. We love the first three. I love the first three Alien films, and they were able to successfully to move beyond that without Riley being a focal point in that film.
Ripley.
I said Riley.
Neve,
Chapelle,
Kirby, Kobe.
So Jason, I hear you. And I understand what you're saying. I do. Because, hear me out. Because when we saw what the storyline could have been with Neve getting killed in Scream 4 and how Jill was going to take the torch and then try to live her life in all that fame and then have a Ghostface come after her. That sounds fire. It does. And if we would have got it, I would have been there. I wouldn't have boycotted. I would have went to go see that to see what else we would have been able to get. I would have been sad. So if there comes a time in the Scream franchise where they like, all right, Neve, so is you done with this shit? And she like, yeah, y'all can go ahead and kill me off. I'm going to be sad. I'm be like, man, fuck y'all. I'm going to still watch it. I'm going to watch anything that says Scream. Anything coming out of this universe, Jazz is going to go see it, regardless if Neve is in it or not.
You ain't watch the TV show?
I watched the first season.
Oh, got you. Okay.
See,
Wes Craven was on there.
See how you be trying to talk shit? You trying to kill somebody.
So my issue though is, Jason, they addressed this in the movie. That was one of the things that the black girl was saying. She said, you don't switch up the main chick. You don't switch up the final girl. Jamie Lee Curtis, they literally, that was the trivia question in the beginning. They asked about Halloween. Jamie Lee Curtis is in what, every Halloween movie over the last 30, 40 years at this point. Like
She
what?
not in between with them trash ones.
My point is that she makes it all the way to Halloween. Kills or Resurrection. Did she die in Resurrection?
She died in Resurrection in the beginning.
Yeah, that's a jump between 1978 and 2002.
So technically they reset it and they just jumped from 1978 to 2018 and they just kept it as if that's the character. They just kept that's the one that they following.
Yeah, they duct tape the timeline together.
And
that's basically what they're gonna do here.
So within this though, Chapelle, it was supposed to be moved over. So even if we skip over Scream 4 and Sidney survived that, cool. Scream 5 was was the reset, and they gave a new character. It was the Carpenter sisters.
They got to reset.
But they fired her, so they have to reset, as you saying, and go back to Sidney. In that, so it's like so in Scream 8, is Sidney gonna still be the lead?
She probably won't be the lead, but she got to be in it. Until you can find a way to kill her off, she needs to be there as a mentor. Eventually, in the hero story, the mentor has to die at some point so the new person can go. As long as Sidney's alive, she's gonna be in the film. She's not gonna ever just move off to retirement like they tried to do in the last film. That's why everybody was so mad. And I also think that we being really hard on this film because it's a mess.
They weren't that mad because that movie was the highest selling movie without her. It was the highest selling Scream movie. Now this is gonna succeed that, but it was the highest selling movie at that point.
And this is a mess. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. I'm going to give it a little bit of credit. They had to rewrite this film. The reason why Tatum doesn't have a character is because the main character got fired after they wrote it. It's not like they wrote this with Tatum in mind. They made this character up because there was that girl that got fired last year. She was supposed to be the main character. They had to do this film again. So the reason why it's everywhere is because they didn't know what the fuck they was doing. They were trying to give people something with a different cast than they suspected to start off with.
I mean, they had to rewrite it, and then they also had to go find Neve to be like, "Will you
please, girl?" This? And then they had to give her money, and she was like, "Well, I ain't coming back if I'm not gonna be that girl." Like, you know what I'm saying? So. Well, I look like come back to be this girl's sidekick, and I don't even know her. They put themselves in this hole.
$7 million.
No, they definitely did. Like, honestly, the way that how they treated Neve with the pay situation and then how they fired Melissa, the studio really just fucked so much of it up to where a lot of people was just like, why don't y'all just go ahead and sell it to another studio that can handle this how it needs to be handled correctly? Because Spyglass fumbled multiple times in all of this, and it's just been a fucking mess, honestly.
I think they can come back from this. But they have to recalibrate because right now you throwing movies together with a cast that ain't the same cast. You got a character we never heard about because the last character you was gonna use you can't use no more. So now the story's not cohesive. And so I think once they now have established the new normal, you can move forward. But you can't go off and fire nobody in the meantime. But between now and the next film, you got to have an established cast of characters because if you write the thing and try to rewrite it again, we're gonna get another mess.
But then also, like, realistically, with us not knowing anything about Tatum prior to this movie, did that add or take anything away from this?
Yeah, like, would you have the movie? She was so lame.
No, I'm saying, would you have needed to know who she was prior to this movie?
It would be nice to care about the character. I just didn't care about her.
But no, the thing, you wouldn't have saw her. You wouldn't have saw her because you didn't see Mark either. Would you have cared about her if they said, "Oh, Tatum and the twins are doing good," to where she was referenced? No, in the earlier movies, but then they didn't got to see.
Yeah, no, they didn't have to reference her at all. I'm just saying the reason why they create this character out of thin air is because the one that they wanted to use they couldn't use, and so they have to use her. They made this up. The twins weren't going to be old enough, so they needed to bring in the new lady, and she got fired, and so now this is what they have to work with. They're like, okay, Tatum, you got it now, and they have to try to build kind of piecemeal together a character that we care about. And I think this is kind of like this is the wipe the slate clean, and I think next Scream, they can really focus on building her up and making people care about her.
Because I don't even think the story that we got in this, they had to do a whole different script. They started from scratch with the script because with Jenna and Melissa, there's no way the story that we got from this would have even touched that. I think they definitely had to start from scratch because, like Jason, I told you so because they're obviously posting things of like, oh, how much Jenna would have been in Scream 7, or this is what Scream 7 would have been if they didn't fire Melissa. And it was going to be on a level of Jenna's character was going to get killed by Ghostface, which was going to trigger Melissa's character to snap and then become Ghostface. And Sidney would have had to kill her. To where Sidney's kids, you probably wouldn't have even saw them in Scream 7.
Mm-hmm. So there would have been so this would have been a correction. Well, hold on. So Sidney was going to be in Scream 8 regardless?
Sidney was going to,
Scream 7 regardless, or did they bring in Sidney because they had to fire Homegirl?
Nah, I don't know. Because I think that's actually a good question because Sidney wasn't in 6.
Right.
And
so it's like, why would Sidney show up to, and they didn't want to pay her the first time. Exactly. So that's why I said it really does feel like they had something and they had to kind of just throw it out and do whatever they could with the new girl. They couldn't go to either of their protagonists because Sidney been gone for so long and the homegirl just got fired. So now it's kind of like, okay, what do we got? And we like, okay, Sidney got another kid. Well, boom, we'll build something off of that. So that's why I think it's a mess. But I think it's salvageable. I think you just pick it up now and you just pick your writers. You can pick these same writers. That's fine. They did some rewrites, Jason. I'll give them a pass. But let your writers cook, and give them the same cast that they start writing for. So by the end of this, they don't look dumb because they look bad. It looks really bad.
So one question I have for y'all, because I know we've been different. So what areas, to you, Chapelle, I'll go to you first. What areas within the entire movie do you feel like they fell short, or areas that you feel like they should have let sit longer in the cooker?
I definitely think that the development of Tatum as a character is where they really miss, because she is such a focal point and you just don't get anything from her. We know she wants to, she's in theater, but that's it. And she wants to be like her mama, but that's it. Why does she want to be like her mama? Is it because she's famous? Who knows? She's just like, kind of like, you just won't tell me nothing about you. We get almost nothing from her. And I really feel like if you are going to make this about Sidney, because the cool moment where they shoot that lady face off, 10 out of 10, no notes. I was like, yeah, like the father son Kamehameha moment. I'm like, yeah, like you do this, but at the same time, I'm kind of like Sidney and a random girl doing this. I don't care about that being Tatum. Like, I didn't feel like Tatum learned how to shoot a gun in this movie. You got to take the safety off, and then you need to shoot him in the head. I said shoot him in the head. 3 shots later, shoot him in the head. That was Tatum's whole story arc, was like, one day I'm gonna learn how to shoot this thing in the head. I can't do it. I'm not like you, Mom. But we didn't get that. To me, that doesn't pay off. And I feel like if you really focus more on her and making us care about her in relationship to Sidney, then I think it's okay. Also, I don't think they use Gail enough. Wow, this little interview, they cut it short, and then we don't see Gail again until after the fight.
It's too many characters for them to keep on making them really relevant in these stories. That's why they got to kill Legacy off. Legacy must die. In order for in order for this tree to survive, we must cut our old branches off. It got to. We got to prune them bitches. They got to go.
I think you can kill Gail at some point, but you have to have a new Gail. Maybe you make Sidney the new Gail.
No,
but
you make Mindy the new Gail.
Mindy's too much of a Randy to be Gail. You can't be both.
So
she is Randy. That lady, she don't be trying to solve nothing. She don't be trying to fight nobody. She wants to talk about movies. That lady, all right, y'all. Let's get the cast.
Hold on, but Chapelle, does that not go into line with what Gail is pretty much her being a crime investigator?
I hear you, but Gail wants to solve the crime. Gail is a detective. Mindy is a fan.
Mindy is
Gail is a detective.
But she's trying to solve it. She just suck at it.
How was she trying to solve the murder? By getting all the kids together at a pizza bar.
Mindy messes up because Mindy doesn't think there's so many Ghostfaces, because she was right about old boy last movie. It's just his sister.
Mindy's messing up because she's sitting there at the bar with the killer. Gail would never. Let's all go out. Let's get all the suspects together and go out to eat. And then
you never seen Scream 1?
She didn't sit at the bar with the killer. What you talking about?
She goes to the restaurant with all the kids that they suspect, and they just hanging out.
But none of them was a killer.
she thought they were.
She thinks everybody is. She thought her girlfriend was.
That's the problem. If Gail is trying to fight the crime, Mindy is here for the plot. She here for the fun. What they pulled up because we got a call. I'm trying to be on the news. To me she's too much of a fan of the product. She wants to talk about the movie. She wants to give you the rules. You ain't getting no rules from Gail. Gail is here to kick ass. She here to shoot people. She here to run niggas over.
They could.
Mindy can't fight. That.
She possibly could be the killer because at that point she can at least make her movie make sense. You're like, you know what, fuck it. I've got it wrong so much, and now we're getting it right.
Who you talking about?
Out of here, Mindy.
Mindy, that's not a thing. Stop it.
Hold up. Who did I say should be the killer?
Jazz, if you go into the Scream 7 chat, I have already put that in there. I don't want to hear that.
Mindy should not be. That's so weird.
Did you say? Did that just happen before we started?
It happened when I created the chat. So the first
that you said it should be Mindy.
It should be the twins. I said it should be the twins when the chat first began.
I'm not gonna lie. The twins being the killers would be fire.
It would make no sense. Why would they all of a sudden snap? Just they've been.
I think the motive is I think the motivations of the last two. The motivations of the killers is where they need to start with a Scream movie. I think that's where they should start.
I would say the motive for the past 3 movies, in my opinion, have not been that good. But since we're on the motives,
Toxin Fandom wasn't horrible though. Continue.
Out of 7 movies, but what would y'all say the top 3 movies, the top 3 motives? Now, Jason, I'm gonna start with you. Out of the 7 films, in order.
Hold on. She gonna say in order, nigga.
Hell yeah, nigga. Do you have your? You ain't got your Chapelle. You got your list.
I got my list. I'm just trying to find it.
Okay, go ahead.
Top 3 motives. I have Billy abandonment, Richie toxic fandom, and Jill fame.
Fame?
That was her point. Yeah. She went. Yeah. She wanted to be the it girl.
She did. Chapelle, you got your top 3?
Yeah, give me that boy mama. Was it Billy's mama?
Yeah,
Miss Loomis.
Miss Loomis. Yeah, give me Loomis' mama because Sidney. What's up? You get my boy. I mean, I know he started it, but still, he started it, but yeah, whatever. Then give me Roman, because I hate you and your mama. Give
our
Roman.
mama.
Yeah, our mama. Yeah, give me Roman on that one, and then I don't know. What was Billy's motive? He's just crazy.
Yes,
abandonment. It was abandonment. His mama left.
But even though Sidney didn't abandon him,
Sidney didn't technically. Yeah,
right. He killed the person who he was angry at, but he just loved killing, so he said, "Let me kill some more."
He had a bloodlust.
Okay, and then who? What was the motive? And then what was the motive for the last movie? The family, the daddy, and the 2 kids.
Because they killed their son / brother.
Mm-hmm. They just went back to 2 again.
All right, give me Stu. Give me Stu for number 3. Give me Stu.
Stu was pure pressure. Yo, he was just vibes.
Okay. His best friend was saying, "Let's go kill people." He said, "All right." Bet.
I would much rather have a movie where they just work because that's what they initially started with. Who needs a motive? I think just killing is just what we do. I like that motive a lot more than a lot of these other niggas' motives.
It don't work for a mystery though. You got to be able to find out the motive and the weapon in the place, all that kind of stuff.
It's when you playing Clue.
Yeah, but I think if I'm being honest, I think it's this one. I think the Sidney, you disappeared on me. I idolized you, and you went ghost when I needed you most. Where were you at when New York was calling and you weren't there? Nah, bitch, come back. I didn't dedicate my life to support you. I killed my husband because of you, ho. You can't just dip. Like when you gotta, it's like getting to heaven and find Jesus smoking crack. It's like what do you mean you not there at the Ghostface fight? Nah, Sidney, if you're not gonna do this shit, you ain't gotta be here. Nah, I kind of like this one.
Could this be relevant to Tony Stark leaving Marvel and people not enjoying the way Marvel's been going since Endgame, or no?
And now we got to get them back.
Just throwing it out there, Jazz. What's your top 3? I'm still not feeling this motive, so fuck that.
I don't know, man. This one kind of fly.
So,
I talked myself into it.
So mine is going to be, and I was between Ronan, Scream 3, because I absolutely loved his motive, because his motive started this entire franchise. And then I'm going to say Jill from Scream 4, because sis, yes. And I was between Scream 2's motive, which is Miss Loomis going on revenge, and Chapelle. I was between that one and then this one, because when I was looking at the motive for this one, Jason, when I first watched it, I said the motive killed me, and I was like, I don't know if I fuck with it. But on the rewatch, I said, no, bitch, this kind of makes sense. Mm-hmm. Just based on our previous conversations of how I'm just like, nah, we need Sidney for real. Like, don't be trying to skip out and have a good fucking life and then just be like, you're not here anymore. Like, nah, you need to be in here. You are trauma, which sounds kind of crazy as a toxic fan, but I'm in the cult. So what do you expect me to say? So my honorary mention would definitely be Scream 7's motive.
This might be my number 3. She got an 8. I do like that it mirrors the fandom. It really does. Sidney left and y'all acted a fool. And so they like, okay, would that be enough for y'all to kill?
That's what I'm saying. Out of that movie still.
But they gonna act the fool, but they still gonna. It's an abusive relationship.
Jason. That's what it is.
Ass beat and they showing up. That lady took off that mask and her eye, she had a black eye. because it's been beating the hell out of her.
She did. She had the imprints of Ghostface on her forehead. She was just like, well, hello. Yeah. Like
this is the most player one, honestly. This might be number 1. I didn't talk myself into
it. We out there.
This
right the movie.
Honestly,
I'm not allowing y'all to get that shit off tonight, man. Rank the movies, man. Rank the movies.
Cooked, man.
Rank the movies. I'm not allowing y'all to do this.
They kind of ate that a little bit.
Jason.
No.
Even
you gotta sit with it for a second, Jason. I know it's
Chapelle, I was sitting with it for 24 hours and I went to go see that bitch again. And I said,
I gotta check her out again. Yeah.
She kind of cooked. I get it now.
And when she was, they gave her the random backstory. This is why I knew she was the killer, right? Because they gave her a random backstory that nobody cared about. It's like, oh yeah, when you're abusive dad. I said, girl. And so I was like, all right, it's you. But even that mattered in her motive because it's like, yeah, you had an abusive daddy. And because of that, I needed Sidney. Sidney was there when I needed her the most. That book got me out of my dark place. And then she had the nerve. Husband. Yeah, abusive. Yeah, he had an abusive daddy. Or whatever. And so she like, that book got me out of my dark place. It led me into the light, out of the darkness, she says. You know? And then Sidney just disappears when the world needed her most. Sidney, Ghostface is out. The Joker show up and Batman just not gonna come? Excuse me?
She said Sidney kills the villain. And Sidney was not in New York. It's not Melissa is the one killing the villain. Sidney was supposed to be there to do it. Like, and she wasn't there because a lot of people is just latching on to that. And it's just like, so now Sidney's like, oh, I want people to see how you can live life after trauma. No, bitch, we only see your life as trauma. Right. You're helping me out of my trauma. So you have to stay in your trauma. Mm-hmm. Like it's toxic as shit to where
it might be number 1.
Chapelle.
It might be number 1.
As soon as you let it
I can't believe. No, fuck that. No, we are off there. Rank the movies. What's your other question, Jazz? What we doing? Ranking movie rankings. What y'all rank the
anybody movies? That's listening and watching?
I might just move this on my rankings for that one.
Y'all let us know.
I'm not.
But the ranking of the 7 films, Jason, what is your ranking from best
1, 2,
to
4, Jazz? You keep on trying to make me rank them best to worst. Fuck.
What you mean?
I'm going from worst.
Wait,
I'm going from worst.
You think 1 is the worst?
You had 1 is worse?
Hush. 3, 5, 6.
3 is worse.
3 is the worst.
Oh, you wild.
Worse than this? Scream is worse. Scream 3 is worse than what we just talked about.
Well, Chapelle, relax on Scream 3, my nigga. Relax.
I'm asking him. He said Scream 3. Scream 3 is worse than this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jason.
In what way?
Hold on. Before you answer that, could you please give your ranking again?
From worst to best. 3, 5, 6, 7, 4, 2, 1.
Okay. All right. Chapelle, what was your question to Jason?
In what way is Scream 3 worse than Scream 7 specifically? Not all the other ones you named that were worse than Scream 7, but Scream 3 specifically. What did they do that Scream 7 did better?
The
If
kills.
anything.
The kills. I like the cast better in 3. I enjoy the experience of 3 because I was in the movie when it came out. But as far as like the kills, I guess more so like on the edge of the seat with the action that's going on. Yeah, 7 was a better movie to me than 3. That's just my personal opinion.
Chapelle, what's yours? Would you like to do least to favorite or?
Yeah. I'll start with the worst one. I do think 7 is the worst one. I think it's disjointed. I don't think the story makes sense in a lot of ways. I think they threw in a new character. I don't think it's their fault. I am going to give them more credit then. Like, I don't think it's the worst Bob. It's not like, oh, it's way worse. But I definitely think that it's a little messy, I guess I'll say. I barely remember Scream 5. Like I remember Scream 6 more vividly than Scream 5, but I don't remember loving Scream 6. I hate to go just backwards because I don't think they're getting gradually worse, but I definitely didn't care for Scream 6 either. So 7 and 6. I did like 4. I did like 4. So 7, 6, 5. Then 3, 2, 4, 1. I still like the original.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like 4 for some reason.
I'm gonna go from best. A lot of people don't. It's kind of weird, but a lot of people don't like 3 either, which is also weird to me. But,
which is crazy.
Yeah, I've been fighting battles for 3 for fucking years. I'm still gonna fight them. I am. Yeah. With the 10 pretty toes down. But I'm going to say my favorite to least favorite is 10 pretty toes down.
Yes.
Who says that?
You say it, but who says
Woodsboro Toes says that.
Somebody with pretty fucking toes.
He said, I can only be who I am.
But I'm going to do 1, 2, 4, 7, 3, 6, 5. That
From
is
best to
ranking.
worst?
Yes.
1, 2, 4, 7, 3, 6, 5. Oh, you like 7 better than 3 too?
Yes.
Why?
The kills. But the thing is, the reason why the kills were not graphic in 3 is because of things that was going on in society. They weren't trying to be very gory because you had a lot of issues happening of like mass shootings around that time. So they weren't trying to have very graphic visuals. I think that's where 3 fell short, along with their script being leaked multiple times. So 3 kind of got fucked up with what things were happening around that time. But I do still like 3 before 6 and 5.
Yeah. I prefer the story of 3. It feels a lot more complete than this story. I had a lot of questions coming out of this one. So that's what I would put 3 over 7 for sure.
Yeah, I think that trilogy is one of the better ones. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. 3, they concluded it because they just kind of wrapped it up. They weren't expecting to do another movie, which is why it took 11 years for them to do Scream 4. But yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But
y'all really like this, huh? 7.
Chapelle. All right. So y'all top 3 kills, best kills from the franchise. Chapelle, do you have yours?
I don't think I have mine. I can't. Okay. I don't have that vivid of a memory of the movie enough, of the franchise enough to remember the kills like y'all. I'll be watching it for the plot, And so,
the plot is the kill, nigga.
I will say whatever. I will say this. That beer, that soda beer machine kill, that needs to be on everybody's honorable mention because it was crazy for no reason. That man picked that boy up by his neck, by his head like this, and just placed him on the beer. His blood and guts was coming out. Then the beer came out.
I hated that.
I'll give him credit for that one.
I hated that so much.
What? It was so cartoony. That's perfect. That's what it's supposed to be like.
Why did you hate it?
Why? That seemed like a Scream 3 kill. That didn't seem like a Scream 7 kill.
Damn.
Scream 3 didn't even have any bloody kills, which is so crazy.
Right, this was so gruesome in comparison to Scream 3. What are you talking about?
What's it? The black guy, he was bleeding all over the place when they threw him out the.
Get the fuck out of here! No,
he fell out the window.
He was on the ground. He was on the ground, blood everywhere. I said, "God damn, ain't no blood in the whole movie." They put blood all over this nigga though.
Jason, stop! It was blood all over Olivia's room. That's blood all over. Tyson did not have blood all over. He was bleeding from his head.
Yeah, on the ground, but there was no blood nowhere else in that movie except when he got threw out that fucking window.
But I mean, that makes sense. If you just pour a little bit there, it's like okay.
Jason.
Cotton had blood on his shirt. But Jason, what is your top 3 favorite kills?
Olivia, Scream 4, Shorty on the ladder in Scream 6, and of course, the legendary, the great Casey Becker in Scream 1. Okay. What you got, Jazz?
I have Olivia as well. She still holds the crown of the best kill in the franchise from Scream 4. I'm going to do Hannah from Scream 7, who was getting sliced and diced as she was up in the air. And Ghostface had her guts spill all the way out. And I'm going to say Maureen, which is Jada Pinkett from Scream 2.
Hey, real one.
Real one right there. I absolutely love that intro scene.
Yeah. Real one. And I love the Scary Movie callback to that. This is for Big Mama's house. And they start chopping up.
She was spoiling movies. So many people, they was like, I gotta
spoiling Schindler's List. Like, they start going in. It's from Malcolm X.
But
Big Mama's
since we are talking about Maureen and her getting all cut up, Chapelle, I got a trivia question for you.
Ah, hell.
It's an easy one. Okay. I think. Who got stabbed more? Both Marines, which is Sidney's mama and Jada Pinkett's character from Scream 2 in the intro. Those stabs combined, or Chad, who got stabbed up in Scream 5, 6, and 7. Who got more stabbed up?
Chad really be out here. He been making it, man. He has managed to just push through. He got stabbed a lot though. Maybe Chad. Maybe Chad outranks them both.
Ghostface ran a threesome on him last movie and he still survived. Not a threesome, excuse me, a train. They ran a train of like knives on him and he still survived.
What's the difference between a threesome and a train?
I guess it depends on who you ask.
I'm asking Jazz.
I think they're both the same.
You changed it up, so I was like, "Where'd that come from?" I wasn't expecting that from you.
Well, I mean, no,
there is a difference.
I want to know what Jazz thought, because she did switch it up. She said not a threesome, but try. So, okay.
I was trying to.
She said it was more than 3.
No, it was still 3, or it was 3 of them, but 2 of them was. Nah, they ran a train on Chad. They ran a train on
Chad. Tossed him up. They tossed him up.
No, nobody was touching each other in that during that as they was chopping him up. That was a train.
Taking turns.
They was. I was about to say something crazy. They was sticking all them holes in that man. It was crazy.
Poked him up.
What was you about to say, Jason?
I don't hate. Yeah. No, I don't know. I want to fight these writers.
You want to fight the writers?
I do.
Okay. What area do you feel like this film fell short at?
The mystery aspect of it, because they definitely left a nigga on the humbug, but it was no mystery behind that. It was just like, so how are we getting from this point to this point in this film? There was no character development within anyone in this besides Sidney and Tatum, I guess. Like you would hope that you would get something from the characters. I'm not feeling that motivation. I don't care how much y'all try to spin it as if that shit is fire.
You want to be a contrarian so bad. Just get on the board. Come on with the family. Come on with the family.
I can't.
You want to be different so bad.
And I just want to see something different, man. I want to see something different. Every time.
He hates Sidney so much.
Every time.
That's why you don't understand the motivation, because you hate Sidney. You don't want her here.
I love Sidney, but for me, I don't. I do, but I'm not in love with a person where I feel like they have to stay tethered to something. Allow them to go on and be. She can be the something else. They don't have to be that person no more. And every time we get to the point of where the person that we're following is going to be the killer, they killed it. And that's something else I don't like, because Jill was going to be the killer. The studio got a hold of it. They rewrote it. And
Let it go.
That's how they made her die. Samantha, she was supposed to be the killer. They fired her because she said "Free Palestine." So now we back with Sidney and her daughter, and I'm just curious what's going to come from this afterwards.
Do you think Neve has like a voodoo doll somewhere where she just like, these niggas not taking my spot?
You see my face?
Yeah, probably.
No.
You see my face?
Yes.
She doing something. Neve doing something.
Chapelle.
I'm not entertaining it. I'm not entertaining it because they proved they can move on from her. They've already proved that, but they're gonna keep on throwing it in our face. So
But you see what happened when they tried? Karma came back around and said, "Nope."
It beat them. It punched them in their face, man. Karma literally punched them in their face.
They didn't have to fire her. They didn't have to fire her. They chose to. So, yeah.
No, they didn't. No, I think that was a terrible decision for them to do that.
We didn't need,
but
they wouldn't have been in that position. I'm gonna tell you, Cindy, how many? You know what I'm saying?
But it was still. But
it was kind of like a domino effect for real.
But it was still gonna be the Carpenter's trilogy. Sidney just would have been in it.
But you still would have had Sidney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I honestly feel like with all of the drama that this franchise has been having within the past 3 years, you have divided the fan base a lot. And it's an unnecessary divide. I would have preferred to have a divide to where I have both of them in the fucking franchise and people are having internal fights, but they're still showing up to the movies. Now you have fights of where, Scream 6 dropped. You don't have Sidney fans showing up, but you still have the regular folks coming and showing up. And now you have Scream 7 with the shit you pull with Melissa, to where it's just like the studio's like, y'all need to stop fucking up for real. Because this franchise has longevity. It's been moving and being successful for 30 years. And so it's just like, you got people out protesting, which, that's their right and everything. It's just I would say the studio mishandled both of those situations.
They did. They did.
But I just, which is unfortunate, because it's just like, yeah. And it kind of left a stain, and I hate that it left a stain on the franchise. Because Scream ain't have no drama before this shit. So.
Yeah. So it is what it is, man. I think that's all I got, though. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about in this movie?
I do want to mention a relationship between Gail and Sidney, because they definitely made sure to mention how Sidney apologized to Gail for not showing up for her in the last movie. And I thought that was important, because especially with how these two started in Scream 1, Sidney did not like her. Sidney fucking hated Gail. And now it's just like, you are the only person I can actually trust for real.
Mm-hmm. Battle tested. They know at the end of the day they can count on each other. That's why the killer can never be Gail. Is because it doesn't make sense to the story anymore. That this is the only thing Sidney has is Gail. It'll never change. Now what do you do with that though? They made up. They had their little fight, but they got back together. And so I don't know if they're a tag team moving forward. If they have any more conflict, who knows? But Gail and Sidney, that's the most important relationship to the entire franchise.
Yeah, because Dewey is dead. And the wild thing is, Sidney did not show up for Gail, but Gail always showed up for Sidney. And when Sidney was...
a lot of times Gail was just showing up for Gail at the expense of Sidney's story.
Chapelle, two things could be true. Two things could be true.
But I think you putting too much on that second true thing. I think the true thing is Gail needed Sidney, and then because she was there, girl, I'll throw you a bone. But
I've been waiting to say this. Two things can be true, and two things can be a lie too. So the fuck.
So you saying Gail wasn't showing up for Sidney like that?
Not for Sidney.
When did
she was showing up where Sidney was at.
No,
but for Sidney is crazy.
When did she show up for Sidney? But that's a better question.
She showed up at Sidney's motherfucking when she was writing her book. She ain't read it yet, but she was like, I ain't read it yet, but I'm here. I'm talking about when it's Scream 4.
We're talking about showing up for Sidney in the midst of a Ghostface situation.
So, she didn't call Sidney in 5 because Dewey had died. Sidney showed up because Dewey died. So she showed up for Dewey and not really Gail. And then 6, Sidney didn't show up at all. But we know why, because she didn't get paid. Why you? But then,
because you said.
Well, I mean, I guess in these instances, it seems like. But hold on. Okay, so I misspoke. It seemed like Sidney show up when Sidney wanna show up. But Sidney show up when she wanna show up. So I mean, kind of, Sidney ain't really been that good of a friend, but I'm not.
She hasn't been.
But she didn't really like Gail. That wasn't her homegirl. They just kind of like marriage of convenience, though. They weren't friends. They not friends. They don't hang out.
She said it was a complicated friendship.
We are victims who have now had a traumatic situation together, and that's it. That's beyond. That's the end of their relationship. If anything,
but that builds a friendship, like a trauma bond.
The Carpenter sisters have showed up for Gail before Sidney have. The fuck. They saved her in 6. Think about it. Come on now.
But hold on, but you saying that like Sidney ain't saved Gail in a situation.
Which one she saved her in? Show me.
She saved her in Scream 3 when she showed up.
Your favorite.
When Gail was tied to that damn chair.
Jazz, stop it. She got pulled over there. She got called to that house because they told her to come or she was gonna kill them. She had to come. I mean, she didn't have to. She could have ran.
But hold on. No, she didn't. She didn't.
She did not have to.
She showed up for Gail and Dewey.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's not.
Go ahead.
I don't.
She didn't.
I don't think that's the same.
And she didn't even tell Kincaid.
But you're right.
What you mean?
You're right.
Jason,
I'm gonna give you that. I'm going to give it to you. But sure, yeah. That's out of 7 movies.
I mean, Gail has literally. She is self-interested in a lot of ways, right? She is very career-oriented. And so a lot of times the fact that Gail is around is because something had happened in her life where she needs information. She needs to get a new book published. When she shows up at Dewey's house, where you been, Dewey? What's been going on? So you got fired, huh? Oh, okay, bet. I knew something was up. Even in this episode, I came to come check on Sidney in her new town. Something told me to go talk to Sidney. Oh, really? Because it sounded like you got the axe, and now you're trying to start your podcast, and Sidney is the interview that you always wanted, and you came to get it. You know, she is showing up where Sidney is at, and she's helping Sidney when she can. But is she actively thinking, let me go check on my friend Sidney? Let me make sure Sidney is okay. Let me go see how my nieces are doing. The twins. You know,
them niggas?
Exactly. Because they don't damn about Sidney.
That's what Dewey was doing. Dewey was checking on Sidney, but Dewey had he was in love with Sidney though. They just didn't pull on that.
Y'all favorite?
Yo, no.
Screen
Dewey was not in love with Sidney. Stop.
Man, go Screen 4 again and watch him on that couch. Watch him on that couch again.
They were talking, Jason.
Nah,
Gail had her book in years.
Jazz, you and I have sat on the couch and we've talked, and I promise we was on 2 different couches. You weren't even on the same couch.
Jason, I didn't have a book. I didn't release a book.
If I had a book, you would have sat next to me. What do you mean?
You got magazines on your coffee table. I look at all the time.
Jason, I don't look at none of them.
That's decoration.
My school just put them there. They just for decoration. Get the fuck. And I read them every time.
Decoration. They all over the place.
And I read them.
Why? Shit, you know more than me.
Yeah. I don't know. Gail and Sidney's friendship is the most important relationship, but I don't know if it's a friendship. I think they're trying to make it one, and they have yet to do that. But I think in this movie, this is where we establish we are friends. I think up until this point, it has kind of been like, I'll be there if you need me. And I think they can really start this with them being a tandem, but they could go to the next movie with them being a tandem. But prior to this, if Gail's books ain't selling, she gonna pop up. And that's really what this is. You know, I ain't had a hit book in years. Sidney, where you at? What you doing? And then there we go.
So you're basically calling Gail Harper Stewart, and you're calling Sidney.
No. At that point, Gail would have to go and kill people to make this happen. She would have to kill Sidney and be like, "Damn, I wonder what happened in your life." Tell me more how that felt when if we find out Gail been the killer the whole time, then she's Harper, okay? Because Harper stood at that man's wedding and looked him in the face while he was getting married, okay? That's a different type of villain.
It was the past. They was in college.
They was wilding. Not couldn't let that shit happen to me though.
Oh my goodness. But was there any other scenes that y'all wanted to discuss, or any type of questions that you may have had that was in this movie that you wanted to discuss? Chapelle, you looking kind of strange in the face. Like
I'm thinking, because I've asked so many, right? Because I don't want people to think I didn't like the movie. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it for the same reason I like all the Screams. It's goofy, it's fun, it's a murder, but it's not scary. It's just like, oh, okay, it's a vibes movie, and I thought the vibe was cool. You in there, you get the jump scares or whatever. Oh, when Anna Kate, oh, that's not her name. With Anna Camp, when Anna Camp does her reveal, this girl in the movie theater said, "Damn, I didn't even think of her." And I like, that's the environment I like. That's why I was determined to get on this podcast and talk to y'all, because I was like, I'm gonna go to the movies, sadly, but because you gotta experience people having that moment with Scream. Scream gives you the space to be a little ignorant. You know, it is the one movie that gives you the space to say some shit like, "Run, bitch!" You know, like this is the place where you can go for that. So it was a few moments like that throughout the film that I really enjoyed. But yeah, I already asked all my questions. When Sidney wouldn't call her damn child on the phone, that's when I about walked out. I was like, God, Sidney, it'd take 2 seconds to FaceTime this baby.
So I was gonna ask y'all how your movie experience was, because I saw it like opening night and everything, and like my theater was packed, and they gave us the free posters and all of that. But the nigga said they didn't have no more popcorn buckets. I think she was lying. But yeah. Did y'all, Jason, you saw it the Friday after it dropped. Mm-hmm. And Chapelle, you saw it the Friday after it dropped as well?
Next day, yep.
Okay, dang. Because like there was a music video that played during my showing, and I was just so confused. It was like a Ghostface music video. I was just like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Was it that Don Toliver video? Because he has a video called Creeping with the skull. He's wearing the Ghostface. It's a rap song?
No, it's not that one, but that's a song that was at the end of the movie. I was trying to Shazam it so I can like put on a playlist, because that shit was kind of fire. But I think it was sis who got cut up, Hannah, that actress. I think she was singing with somebody else, because it was like so much Ghostface stuff, and I was just like, oh, this is pretty cool. But like my theater experience for this movie was amazing. People were clapping, people were cheering. And I was just having so much fun with it, to where I was just laughing so much. And it was like, I think the movie started, had some trivia questions as well. I got some of them just wrong, I'm not gonna lie, but I ain't gonna tell you which ones I did. Ooh. But nah, it was, the theater experience for this was really good. Jason, how was your experience?
It was cool. Like I said, I went the day after in the morning, because I failed to be able to get there in the fan event. Didn't get my poster and none of that, so it is what it is. At the Cinemark, they have the HD box or D box, where they kind of shake as the film is going. So that's been my experience. It kind of amplifies the horror experience. So you can't go to sleep, because you're gonna be jumping and shaking all throughout the movie. So that's pretty dope just to see or experience that when you're watching these films. So yeah.
People started clapping when Gail got on screen for show. You know, they whoa, I did it. Yeah. I was like, all right, cool. You know, you gotta watch yourself at the Scream movie theater, because you gotta remember this is a crazy fandom. They kill people in the movie theaters. We saw that in Scream 2, so I had to get out of there.
Chapelle,
before the credits start, I was out the door.
It was a dude that walked into my theater. He had like a fucking backpack on, and I was watching him. Oh yeah, because I was just like, "Why do you have a backpack on in the movie theater?" And I said, "Nah, bro, we not about to do this."
I jumped right up. I got up so fast because I just know that I'd be the fool that was. Yeah, why did you go to the movies? I don't even go to the movies.
Y'all seen the little mid credit at the end?
No, I was gone, baby. Out the
Did y'all
door,
see the
down the
mid
street.
credit?
Nigga, it was a what?
Yeah, it was a mid credit.
It was a mid credit.
Yeah,
I was
it was mid.
gone.
It wasn't nothing too serious, but Mindy was filming herself, trying to do the news report for Gail. So they said they're gonna set it up, and it was like, all right, let's go ahead and get it. So they showed what they looked like with her filming it.
She might be the new Gail then. That's what they might end up doing with Mindy.
She could be the new Gail, but she can't keep being the new Randy and Gail. She gotta pick a side.
I think Chad is probably gonna be the new Dewey.
I thought it was gonna be Mark.
Being that like no.
Well, he did survive. Hey, we didn't even talk about Mark. They sliced and diced his ass, and he survived for like 12 hours. That man was wrapped in plastic and wide the fuck open. And they were just like, he's still alive. I said, what? So yeah.
I feel like the fact that I saw Chad get cut up so many times in the past 2 movies, Mark was not a shock to me. The fact that you look at the earlier Scream movies and you see people get stabbed once or twice and they die, and you look at anything after Scream 4 and they get flayed up and they still survive, I'm just like, okay, y'all have made me used to this kind of behavior. And I hate that.
Were y'all happy to see the callback to the old Scream movies and Billy and his Billy Mama and Stu, all of them people? Were y'all happy when that happened? Because I was rolling my eyes. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So I feel like Jill should have been in that. I feel like Jill absolutely should have been in that. You didn't need Dewey in that. You absolutely should have had. If you were gonna do the villains, do Ronan, do Miss Loomis, and do Jill. But the actress might have been asking for too much money.
Wait, hold on.
Emma Roberts.
Oh,
she probably would have been asking for too much to be in this, and it's weird because they're actually like majority of the Scream cast is going to be in Tampa this weekend. By the time this movie drops or this episode drops, but it would have already happened. That a lot of them is going to be in the city this weekend for a convention. I think I'm gonna definitely check that out. But yeah, so Jason, you wasn't feeling that.
What's that? What's that?
The fact that they were going through, cycling through.
Yeah, no. I didn't.
No, you got a delay.
Is it a delay?
It's a delay.
I got a delay on my end, at least. A 7-second delay.
Actually, it's 30 if you're on Scream 3.
Yeah, that's Scream 1.
Oh yeah, Scream 1. Yes. Can you?
But yes,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
No, I was thinking through what you said about Jill not being there. Was she not there because she wasn't in the book? Because you gotta remember who made this. The neighbor made this based off of her experience reading Sidney's book, Out of the Darkness or whatever. All the people that we saw were actually characters in the book, right? She talks about Billy. She talks about Billy's mom.
That's true.
Jill was after the book had already dropped.
That's a very good point.
I'm just thinking it through. I don't know. Listen, I could be dead ass wrong, but that's what I was thinking.
I like that. I like that.
I told you it's because the book motivation is really driving that seed.
I'll be sure to send you an application to join the community.
For the cult. They're
community.
They're gonna be mad at me.
They're always mad. It's okay. But no, that's a very good point. To where it's just like, would she have even known that much about Jill if she was so consumed with the book?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know.
Because Dewey dies in that movie too, right? Scream 4?
No, Dewey dies in Scream 5.
Scream 5. But Dewey was in there, and they were like, "You, I died for you." So maybe that made national news. I don't know.
I mean, because the thing with that is, even if you're using the book to pick these characters, she does mention her issue with Sidney was her not going to New York, so she should have known about Jill.
Yeah. I mean, Jill really wasn't that big of a deal, though.
But that was her cousin, though.
That was her cousin.
So her cousin that tried to kill her and take over her life.
I would say Jill was definitely a very important Ghostface. So you said, hold on, what was the question you said about New York?
I said,
Well,
so
he's saying that she knew that
says,
she went to New York. So yeah,
she said
so,
she said she knew about Ghostface in New York. So her using that book, like I'm not against what Chapelle is saying. If she used the people from the book to be the faces that she cycled, but Dewey died in 5, which is what led or what motivated Sidney to go, but Sidney not going to New York is what pissed her off. Like every other time,
Right.
Sidney
Yeah.
sprang into rescue on there. So yeah, I'm not sure why she
yeah.
didn't use Jill unless they couldn't
I,
find Emma
I
Roberts.
I think she has more information though. She has more information about Dewey than she does Jill. You know,
That's
like
another thing. Yeah.
Jill is not really characterized as the person who was going after Sidney for fame, unless Sidney talked about it afterwards. You know, I mean, did Gail go on to make another to write about it or something like that? Like, everybody knows Dewey's story.
That was my issue.
I think that the other killers are outlined.
They treat Jill like a redheaded stepchild. They act like Scream 4 doesn't happen. Like it, but in this movie, clearly it happens because we talk about the book. It's almost like Scream 4 is just like a like.
But I mean, also like, but Scream 4 was also, you wouldn't have Kirby to show up in Scream 6 if you didn't have Scream 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
but Kirby wasn't in this movie either.
No, I don't think Kirby would have made that much sense to be in this movie. And if you were to try to bring the twins and Kirby into this, I would have definitely been like, this is fan service to bring back everybody from Scream 6 into this except for the sisters.
I think the problem is that you don't have the sisters. I think if the sisters are here, you can bring Kirby here. But
but you don't. Right.
Mm-hmm. You gotta find a reason to bring Kirby back, and now we don't have a connection to Kirby. Now it could be that Kirby and Gail link up because they know each other. Maybe that'll be something in the future. But there would have been no reason for Kirby to pull up in Pine Grove Crest.
Yeah, because I thought Kirby was going to show up after the newscast, which would have made sense. It's like, oh shit, Sid is having an interview with Gail talking about Ghostface. That's when I would have thought maybe Kirby might show up, but everything happened that same night. So even if Kirby showed up, it would have been the next day after they figured out who Ghostface was. So it'd have just been pointless. But
yeah,
I don't know. That's interesting. I was missing Jill in that whole little thing that they were doing in the house. So I was just like, damn, Jill would have been actually pretty cool in this.
Is this the shortest amount of time a movie has ever spanned? Because all of the killings happen within 24 hours of each other.
Right.
Yeah, they normally don't take too long.
Once they get the going,
it might have been 2 days.
They get to moving. Once they start killing, they start killing.
Because they had time to go to the mental hospital or whatever. And then, they and then they came back, and then the next day it was on, from what I can tell, because they got the news from the mental hospital that Stu was back, and so they tried to lure him out that night, and then that night it got popping. So they didn't have time to. Yeah, I didn't realize that only so much time had passed. It would maybe 48 hours.
Yeah, it's normally never not too much time to where it's just like, all right, you get that first kill. If the first kill is on a Thursday,
we gonna find out by Sunday.
Sunday, it's like, okay, we already know who Ghostface is. We done defeated him and all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so was there any other scenes y'all wanted to discuss from this film? Chapelle's like, do I have any more questions? Jason's like, where am I about to kill it?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Jason, did you have any?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay.
No, I think that's it.
Well, the reason why we are here, Chapelle, was it good though?
Nah, but it was fun.
Okay. Jason, was it good though?
Yes. Is it that delayed?
It was like a delay and a pause.
It was like
It hurt. It seemed like
yes.
it seemed like it hurt for you to get that
I
out.
said he didn't even believe that. He
He
didn't even
did
believe
not.
that.
I'm
Yes,
not gonna
That
lie. If I
motivation
was
just didn't do
listening,
nothing
I'd
for
have
him.
been
Oh my
like,
God.
yes, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fam jazz. Was it good though?
it was. I had my issues, but yeah, it was. I did not do any. What did you think those for this? Because of course we are watching it the day after it released in theaters, and we're trying to do any spoilers. Our Link of Thrones. This is the section of the episode where we let you, as the audience, know about a project that an actor or an actress or the director, writer from this movie that we just reviewed has done previously or has upcoming. Chapelle, you look like you were looking for your Link of Thrones. So, Jason, I'm going to ask you, do you have your Link of Thrones for Scream 7?
It did. Okay, there we go. I have McKenna Grace. This was Hannah. That sister has a catalog, and she only like 20, maybe 21, if that. And I'm going to go with Regretting You, a rom-com that dropped last year.
Okay. I heard that was pretty good. But, Chapelle, do you have your Link of Thrones?
Yeah, I mean, very obviously, I got to talk about Ethan Embry because I mean, it was such a shock for me to see him in this movie. He is known for Can't Hardly Wait. He's been in some other stuff too, but to see he was the face of that movie, and so he was put in this moment to get that pop. And so I was very excited to see him. Obviously, it does kind of signal that he might be an important character as well. But yeah, if you don't, that Can't Hardly Wait is one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. So I had to give a shout out to Ethan Embry.
I love it because there's so many different people in that to where it's
Yeah.
just like from different
Oh,
movies.
the whole cast is crazy. The
Yeah, the
whole
cast
cast
is-
is
yeah.
crazy.
I don't think I've ever
Super
seen that.
crazy. I am going to go with Can't Hardly
Oh, it's
Wait.
good. Yeah, it's
really
good.
I am going to go with Matthew Lillard, who
Yeah.
was Stu. And I am going to do a series that he is now a part of right now. Is Cross Season 2, currently streaming on Amazon Prime. And we are also doing our side quest reviews on that series as well. So yeah. But
Can't help but wait.
was you about to say something, Chapelle?
Yeah, I was hyped to see him in Cross. I was hyped. Yeah, I was so excited to see him in Cross. It's a fun watch already, but having him there, it does feel like okay, we reached back for this one. It feels good to see him around.
So you caught up on this latest season?
Oh yeah. I covered Cross last season, so yeah, I was definitely gonna watch it again this season for sure, and I've been liking it.
The movie with Ethan Embry is called what?
Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah, with Jennifer Love Hewitt
and everybody else.
Seth Green.
Seth Green and like I mean it's like that
it's like a
Sean Patrick Thomas in this. Yeah, everybody's in this. Peter Facinelli. Oh, Donald Faison is in this. He like I think he's wearing that stupid hat playing the drums. Everybody in this.
I'm not taking off the hat.
I'm not taking out the hat. Yeah, I'm not taking out the hat.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's one of them movies. Yeah. Oh, it's a good watch. It's fun. It's easy. Nothing crazy. One of them funny 2000s movies.
Mm-hmm.
Came out in 98.
It's pretty fun. But
oh yeah, whatever.
It's a classic right there. Classic-ish, I guess. But Jason, was there anything else you wanted to add to this episode before we bounce?
I didn't have anything. Appreciate everybody for still checking in, listening to us. Episode 194 again. Wonder Man is out now. Our Cross, we got 2 episodes, episode 1 through 4. Episode 5 is currently out. Also, our Paradise review of episode 1 through 3 is out. I believe I'm Going to Get You Suckers coming Thursday. A little quick with that one. So yeah, we out here cooking right now, man. So yeah, check that out.
No, I'm gonna get you, sucker.
People requested, man. Listen,
y'all in the Walmart bin right now. I feel it. I had that
VHS. Don't be like that, man. That's a black classic. That's a classic, nigga.
I had that movie. I was just like, what? I know it. What? That's one of them ones.
But yeah, man, I think that's everything that I had.
But yes.
Okay, should you have anything?
No, you definitely covered it. Chapelle, as always, thank you so much for showing up with us to discuss. It's always a good time. Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun being here. Like I said, I like stepping into y'all realm. Y'all, I know the Scream is y'all's kind of thing, but like I said, I was like, oh, this is my chance, because it was the first podcast I ever listened to y'all do. So it was very important for me to kind of get in on some of this.
If you watch episode 1, I'm actually shocked you even said, "Oh, I want to connect with these niggas." It was a lot of screaming on that episode. It was.
Oh yeah, there's one episode where Jason yelling about Batman. I mean, that's multiple episodes, but this is one episode where Jason yelling about Batman, where I was like, "All right, I'm gonna hit these niggas up." Like, that's it. Hey, they good people. They good people.
Man, but
that is crazy. But I definitely want. Before we close out, I want to give a shout out because we were able to make an appearance on Talking Ish, a podcast amongst friends. Please check them out. Me and Jason were guests on that episode on their show, and I was able to jump on Mass Debaters. We were talking about the top Black films of all times, y'all. It was definitely a good time, but some of the movies I was like, wait, how did they get this far? But
was it a tournament?
Something like that.
Okay.
Some movies I was like, wait, how did this movie get in the top 10? But definitely appreciate our brother DeAndre always inviting us, and he's definitely been over here before. So y'all please check out that episode. But please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and check us out on all the streaming platforms. We drop new episodes every Tuesday. I am one of your hosts. I am Jazz.
And I'm Jason. And until next time.
And this is.
Wait, is it that bad? Because, nigga, what is it that bad? Jesus Christ. Jesus.
I stopped looking at your video because I was like, I don't know where you at, man. I was like, I don't know where you at.
The video not showing up?
Like this. Where we at? It's just delayed.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
What is in my mouth?
I was like, Jason, you got anything to say? All the things. Everything is delayed.
Because I feel like we hear your audio and then the video come like 13 seconds later.
But the audio be late too. The audio be late too.
I'm gonna say it's the audio that matters, not what my fucking face look like. Hey, I could be talking like this and motherfucking, as long as you know what the fuck I'm saying, that's the only thing that matter in that moment.
Yeah,
man.
it was the opposite. It was the opposite. When Jazz asked you, was it good though? You took about a good 40 seconds to say something. God damn, this nigga not gonna say.
I hated this movie.
I did. Not that. I didn't hate the movie, but I did pause.
You hated the movie?
I did. I would have said no, I didn't like the movie.
Think about it.
I would have said no, I didn't. I hated it, but no.
Fuck with it.
So Jazz, close us out since I'm delayed. God damn it, finish it. God damn it, finish it off.
I done closed the song.
She ended the thing a long time ago.
When we done?
You that delayed, brother? That shit been gone.
You see how he be yelling at me for no reason? You see?
Hey, brother, you was way too delayed for that one because she turned it off before you even said peace.
Why your hands up here? You gotta click delete.